Welcome everybody to the Give It Podcast, the podcast for blurs, for nerds. If you have a fandom, you are most certainly welcome here. I'm your host, the most, Will Buchanan. Of course, the man to my left, your right, depending on how your screen's flipped. What do you have today for us, sir?
Preparing my body to be filled with nothing but dumplings because of Chinese New Year's. It's me, Joe Tonello.
Happy Chinese New Year. Depending on the dumplings, them dumplings can be freaking good. But we are
my body right now is 80% coffee. I'm ready for it tomorrow to be 90% dumpling.
We are the Get Bit About to Be Filled with Dumplings podcast. Much like WWE old guys, we do try to watch your language, but hey, words do fly, and we will be showing trailers that sometimes may be too intense for younger viewers. So if your discretion is advised, aside from that, welcome. So, how do we start this? Well, I think this needs to start with Midnight Suns, because a certain Merc with a Mouth has been promoting himself to get on there, and they finally have a DLC that fits him perfectly. If you don't know, Marvel's Midnight Suns DLC, The Good, the Bad, and the Undead, featuring MCU's own Merc with a Mouth, Deadpool.
Nope.
These vampires are getting out of control, and it's all Deadpool's fault. Don't be so harsh on him, Sarah. He's super brave, and super awesome, and super handsome.
Wisecracking anti-hero. This is a robbery. Or...
well, guess what, everybody? Now!
whatever. I'm adaptable.
Jimmy, my frickin' chungus.
Mortals! I'm not gonna call you guys a ton of
Blah, blah, blah.
Click.
what?
I can be honest and say there wasn't the budget for it. Look, Ma, I'm gonna be DLC.
What did you say, Joe?
I said, no, he's not MCU Deadpool. I want to say this officially constitutes as a sequel to his own Deadpool game, because that is Nolan North reprising his role from that game. And other times he's been Deadpool.
No, but I mean, it's your point, but still, it's good. It's going to be good. But The Good, the Bad, and the Undead, of course, as you can see, is available January 26th, about 6 days from now. It's including the season pass if you do have it. But it is exactly Deadpool as we know him and love him. I can't be mad about that. But with that being said, yeah, we're going to move along. Kind of switch gears for a second, because the first thing we're going to talk about is, well, Jason Momoa. If you guys haven't heard, there is a YouTube video going out. Well, YouTube or Twitter, depending on where you saw it, where Jason Momoa had this to say.
Was it 4 years ago? I had the Jeep out front? Yeah. No, I don't want you. I left 4 years ago. I was screaming, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Screaming when I left Warner Brothers. All right, everyone's in the meeting. 4 years again. It's a mystery, baby. We got, I got some really good news. Great news with Warner Brothers. Amazing. Wish I could tell you, but here it is. Peter, I love you. James, I love you. David. Okay. Mwah. To the future. To the future. Baby! Picture me rolling.
Okay, so can we just go ahead and say it? Can we just go ahead and say it?
He's the only one left.
I mean, that too. True. True too. But again, for all those who have been under a rock, Momoa has had a love for a certain DC character. We love him too. We initially thought when Momoa was going to be in the DC Studios, DC Universe, we thought he would be this person at first. We did not see him as Aquaman. Although not to knock him as Aquaman, he has been great as Aquaman. But there is a rumor, and again, we have to say rumor with a heavy R. Why? Because Momoa has sat there and said he would love to play Lobo. If you don't know who Lobo is, he is the space bounty hunter in DC that is kind of like Deadpool except extreme. And I do need.
He's Space Macho Man. Just tell you what it is.
I can't say Space Macho Man. It's like he's a cross. He's a hybrid. I'll give him that.
He's not. He doesn't break the fourth wall though. He is just literally the main man. He's the last of the Sarkeesians. He's a terrible father both times.
But do you really want Lobo to break the fourth wall? Do you
I mean, if he has a shotgun.
I'm like,
or with his buddy, the Space Pope Dolphin.
I think it would be a good idea, but no. Realistically, there is a strong chance now because of the way that he came out of that meeting that there is a possibility he may have gotten his wish. Like I said before, nothing has been confirmed. Although with the way he was hooting and hollering when he came out of his meeting with Gunn and Seraphim, he may have actually gotten his wish. Now, does that mean that we may no longer get any Aquaman movies after the Lost Kingdom? Probably not for a while, I would guess. Joe, what do you think?
I just think he's super happy that he's the last person out of the Snyderverse to be standing.
Well, true. Although Ray Fisher got a bad rap, but Ray Fisher's
a 50-50 coin. Like, I feel for the man, but at the same time, he keeps drawing negative attention to himself on Twitter.
But you can't be mad.
He is spitting truth throughout every single thing, but I think he's going about it the wrong way.
I don't know, because I mean, at first when he called out weed, nobody listened to him until that came out.
Yes.
So, I mean, I get to a point, he keeps on wanting to point out stuff, but it's like, I mean, his Cyborg wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad, but again, it's Cyborg. Once you move on from that.
But that's been the crux with Cyborg. It's like Cyborg can be a great character to write on. It's just the fact that DC's problem, as we said multiple times, they don't get the right people to write characters.
Right. And his story's already been told.
But I still think I don't want them to, but the thing about it is I don't want them to rehash his old stories. I'm like,
correct.
You're exactly right. Give him something new. I won't be mad about that. But it's just, But
back to Jason Momoa. Honestly, I hope he's Lobo. I think he'll do a great job. I think that definitely suits his personality better than Dude Bro Aquaman, which also fantastic. I'll never forget his original interview where someone asked him, like, so how are you doing with swim training? Bro, I'm Hawaiian.
Right. That's like, but to see him as Lobo again, we hope this is the correct we hope this is the right turn. If so, Guns are, and like I said, I trust in Gunn. I know Joe's gonna give Gunn his fair shot.
Oh yeah.
It's just the fact that, like I said, if this is the pieces he's putting in place for the next round of DC Studios movies, again, I am all for it. But
Gunn also went on record this week. I don't know if this was actually one of the articles we snagged, but Gunn actually did say that he is looking forward to working with the Guardians of the Galaxy crew on the other side. Which is leading a lot of people to be upset. And I'm like, guys, crew can mean anything under the sun, from film crew to sound crew. It could mean catering.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily mean actors. But if he wants to pull people over from the other thing, that's fine. Let's not forget, DC used Zack Snyder's Perry White is MCU Goliath.
Yep.
There have been actors that have done both sides already.
Oh, my personal favorite. It's just like for a lot of former MCU stars, their contracts are up.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Bautista's contract is up.
Well,
Chris
we know
Pratt.
Dave's going over there.
Yeah, we know Dave Bautista is heading over to DC in some form or format. But like Chris Pratt, for all I mean, his contract with MCU
Oh
is
my
gonna
God,
be
I thought of the worst thing in the world he could be.
what? Pratt or Batista?
Batista.
Who'd you have him? Who'd you have him as?
Oh, let him be Martian Manhunter for no reason. Or no, I take that back. I know exactly who I want him to be. Let him be the Red Tornado.
Okay, I can see that. Red Tornado, I can see that. But no, it's just that if they want to jump ship, let them. I mean, here's the thing that a lot of people don't get, and this is the thing that when it comes to certain icons and actors, we understand that the actors define the icons. I mean, let's be honest, for Captain America, for the longest time, we saw Chris Evans. You know, he kind of personified the role, being the first, well, not first, that's wrong, being the third person to play Captain America. So
Yes,
it's like,
let it be known, the first person to play Captain America is Captain Will Riker.
yeah,
He is Captain America in the Macy's Day Parade.
yeah. So it's like we understand that certain actors are iconic certain roles. I mean, most people can't imagine Tony Stark without imagining Robert Downey Jr. He defined the role. Okay, cool. The problem is with this is just that other actors age and actors go on to other things. We can't expect them to play the same roles forever. But that being said, it's not to sit there and say that actors can't go from one entity to another. Ryan Reynolds did it. He went from Green Lantern to Deadpool, and that was the best thing for him. And others
have at the opposite end of the spectrums where, yes, James Earl Jones will be Vader long after he's dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he sold the rights to his voice to Disney. Exactly.
And let's be honest, it's like that. You can't imagine anybody else being Darth Vader. But that is probably one of the very few exceptions we'll find. One of the very few exceptions.
Oh, I guarantee you, we're going to have a little blue hologram of Robert Downey Jr. at some point.
Well, I mean, if they go with the Ironheart story, yes, because he's basically he's the AI for Riri, so that's about right. But you know, folks just get so strung out over that. I'm like, we do need to give other actors a shot. Other actors do deserve a shot. People? Lost, confused,
Smash Brothers Melee players. They refuse to move on.
Ooh, now we ever get sponsored by Smash, you know we're taking that out, right? We ever get sponsored by Nintendo, that's coming out.
There are games other than Melee, people. Move on.
Oh, if we ever get sponsored by Nintendo, that's got to come out.
No, they'll actually agree with us.
Oh, yeah, they probably would. Also, on some other news, just real quickly, Mark Hamill is also in the news as well, just because there is a chance that he may no longer voice the Joker, and he has a very good reason for why. He says, quote unquote, they may call and say they want you to do the Joker. My only question is Kevin Batman? Of course, the late Kevin Conroy. If they said yes, I would say I'm in. We were like partners. We were like Laurel and Hardy. Without Kevin there doesn't seem to be a Batman for me. And honestly, I can understand that. I can understand that just because they did work so well together. Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill worked on multiple upon multiple episodes and movies and series, not just in the movies and animation, but also in audiobooks as well. They've done a lot of work together. So I can imagine that being more of a partnership, a brotherhood. And of course, with the passing of Kevin Conroy, I can understand how Mark Hamill may just not have it in him to do the Joker anymore. So, I mean, I get that. But your thoughts on that, Joe?
No, it's completely understandable. I hold no malice over that whatsoever. Like, it's even illustrated in Dark Knight Returns or Dark Knight Rises, where there's no Batman, there's no Joker.
Yeah.
He just becomes immediately passive. And, you know, without Kevin Conroy's voice, it's very hard to imagine a Batman. It's hard to imagine a Batman without a Joker. But
Yeah.
it's also hard to imagine Joker without a Batman. Like, it's why Mark Hamill's not any other animated Joker if there's a different character doing it. So,
Yeah.
like,
To quote Batman, to quote the animated series, without Batman, life has no meaning. It's like there's only 2 times I've seen the Joker depressed: when he found out Batman was dead, and when he found out Batman's actual identity. the only 2 times where he was done.
to which I still say, "Where's my goddamn electric car, Bruce?"
That and the IRS. That actually, Joker is the reason why I don't mess with the IRS, because that part.
No, even he knows he'll go to jail for that.
Yeah, I'm crazy enough to take on Batman, but the IRS, no, thank you.
Oh, and the one time he teamed up with Red Skull and realized towards the end of the comic, oh, you're an actual Nazi. No, I'm a villain, but I'm a red-blooded American villain.
And this is why the Joker has morals. He's not as crazy as everybody points him out to be. But yeah, I can't blame Mark Hamill for that. Respect him wholeheartedly, just because not only as the voice of Joker, not only as Trickster, not only as Luke Skywalker, and we can keep going down the line. I can understand that gentleman's choice if he chooses to not to voice the Joker anymore. And there's plenty of other people out there that has no problem doing the Joker voice. Alan Tudyk being one of them. That
John
we can
DiMaggio
still enjoy.
is one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, another one. So there's no reason why people should get hung up on that, unless you're gonna have me saying it now, a Smash Melee player.
You're a Melee player.
You're gonna have me saying that now. If we ever get sponsored by Nintendo, this episode is gonna no longer cease to exist. That being said, guys, we're gonna move on.
Why not? They're the ones shutting down Smash tournaments, not us.
That is also true. But move right along, guys. We have to cover this because, number one, this next trailer is a anniversary special for a lot of us who grew up on Power Rangers. Now, granted, for a lot of us, we didn't get the original versions that were overseas. We actually got Ham Saban's turn when he actually brought it to the States. But that being said, some of us, not all of us, Joe. Some of us got on. Some of us got on the other side. I was in
Korea during Zoo Ranger. I don't know what you're talking about.
I was like, some of us got on the other side.
Now we do want to add one caveat to this. Joe Johnson today came out and said, "I did not say no to returning. I said no to what they offered me, but it's the 30th anniversary, and more fun is coming down the pipeline." So that is why she's not in the 30th anniversary special as the Pink Ranger. Catherine Sutherland is because she made it very clear she did not like the offer they gave her.
Right. With that being said, guys, here is the trailer for the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 30th anniversary, Once and Always a Ranger.
Sit and action.
It's been 28 years since I've been back on the set of Power Rangers.
It's kind of crazy to think about that it's been that many years.
It's surreal, but it's been a great experience.
It's been very nostalgic.
It's been really exciting to film a 30-year anniversary special.
Let's be honest, the main reason we're here is to see these characters, these actors that we're familiar with from 30 years ago.
I think the audience is going to be, first off, excited to see a bunch of us retro Rangers come back.
Directing 2 actors who were Power Rangers 30 years ago, and actually from the other actors too, Steve and Kat, it was a really interesting process.
Meeting fans, the one thing they always ask are they ever going to get the band back together?
Just getting to work with Walter, obviously we have a long history together.
Well, David and I had worked with him as Billy and Zach being Zach and Billy. It's funny how similar it is, but in a different way.
David and Walter, Steven, and then Catherine. We've been working together a long time ago. So glad to see them.
There were a couple of us that had never been on camera together before.
Well, we were Mighty Morphin together, but separate cast. We've never actually worked together.
This is our first time working together.
Just coming back to the show in general it's just a joy.
We're a family of Rangers, so to finally be on a set with them was really interesting.
There's so many little Easter eggs. I just think it's going to give the fans everything they want.
It's such a different take on what we've done before, but a lot of the same elements are there.
I think what I'm most excited about for the fans and this 30th anniversary special is for them to see us all together and our chemistry and our growth.
I think this is the best way we could have celebrated 30 years.
And as you can see, guys, that was the trailer for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always 30th Anniversary Special. Will be out on Netflix April 19th. And I got to go first in saying this. Thank God, Zach. Thank God, sir. The hairline has been repaired. Because, my God. I'm not trying to make fun of Zach. But when you was on Mighty Morphin, that hairline was... Ugh. It was not done by a barber. It was done by a blind person.
They fixed it in Space Cases.
They did. They did, and I'm not complaining. His hairline is fine now, and I'm happy for that. I'm looking forward to it just because, again, I grew up on Power Rangers. It was my first introduction. Mighty Morphin was my first introduction to Power Rangers, and of course, there probably will be a lot of things going on there. I assume there will probably be a tribute to the late Jason David Frank, who unfortunately did pass earlier this year as well. Earlier this year as well.
He actually may be in this because shooting was done prior to his death.
Okay, so there is a chance he
There's a chance he may be in this. Yes.
Okay. So we will probably see things of that nature. Yeah, I forgot who voiced Alpha 5. I'm pretty sure David.
We are getting a new lady to do the voice of Alpha.
Okay.
Or no, we are getting the lady to do Alpha, but we don't know what iteration of Alpha this is.
Gotcha. They didn't say if David Fielding was going to be back as Zordon in this, did they?
I think that was a Twitter thing. I think he may have put something on there.
Okay. We will get some confirmation on that eventually later on. But I'm looking forward to it. Joe, anything else you want to add to it?
Oh yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see how they interact with Trini's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I have been on Ranger Board since the production stills. I can officially say Billy's flying car is back and looks pretty baller as an update. It's no longer Herbie the Love Bug. Like, it's a flying Volkswagen, but like it's a tricked out Billy Cranston bug.
Is it bad that I forgot about the flying car?
No, it's bad that you forgot Billy's 88th romance.
True, but still, the flying car is still I forgot all about the flying car.
Also, I want to know what his kids look like if they're half human, half Aquatarian.
That's a fair point. Joe is referencing the comics if you're unsure.
No, I'm referencing the fact how he's ceremoniously played off. Yeah, remember, he was an old man and went to Aquitar to be with his actual girlfriend in the end, one of the alien rangers.
Oh, right.
To the point where they didn't even have
exactly right.
on set. They got a look-alike and jumbled the screen and muted the voice.
Oh, you're exactly right. Yeah. I didn't think about that for a second. That was on television. I guess they didn't want to cross that line, but
no, if they want to cross that line, we need a Beetleborg team up.
We'll never get that.
I need to see Flabber in the command center.
Yeah, we'll never get that. But
or even better, tattooed teenage alien fighters of Beverly Hills.
Oh, let's not talk about that. Oh, thanks, Joe. That's in my head now.
Or Mystic Knights of Tirnanog.
That was no. Mystic Knights of Tirnanog was good. Tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills. No, that was a goddamn tragedy. Who approved that?
Chaim Saban on the USA Network.
I was like, what? Who thought that was a good idea? I mean, I'll take season 3 of VR Troopers at that. I mean, VR Troopers was better than that, and it got 2 seasons. I mean, dang. I'm just saying that I'm sorry. I don't mean to sound angry. Yeah, that was a little bit angry. I'm like,
we need a crossover with Furbus.
You know what? You keep bringing that. You keep putting that in the manifestations. It might pop up. But speaking of things that might pop up, we did get a snapshot of Adam Warlock that has been circulating, and well, it's kind of getting mixed reviews. This picture right here, guys, is Adam Warlock in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and the more I look at this, the more I get Superman vibes.
So James Gunn has gone on record saying this is him right out of the cocoon.
Mm-hmm.
He has no real concept of life or death or good or evil. He is just an ungodly, powerful Jesus child.
I mean, they do get the kind of Jesus thing going.
So this costume looks like they grabbed one of Thor's costumes from the early Thor movies and just spray painted gold. I'll just say it right now.
Yeah.
James Gunn also says he's going to be incredibly important to the MCU. Considering this Gunn's last movie, I don't know how much of importance will be put on this character.
Unless
but also, you know, at the same time, I don't think Feige and Gunn are on bad terms.
No.
So I could definitely see him being like the crux of Secret Wars.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Because, you know, it's Adam Warlock. He is immensely powerful. And I love that people are forgetting that this is a dual casting because he's also the Magus.
Mm-hmm.
Will Porter's Magus. I mean, they're not going to get that past me.
But the thing about it is, I agree with you. I think he will be the Callus in Secret Wars. I'm not too hung up on this. If this is just the beginning and eventually Warlock does evolve, then I've got no problem with it. I mean, it's a lot better than the other, you know, it could have went the other way. It really could have, but no. With Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 coming out, which again, this is the run, and I have to stress this very heavily. This is the run for the current Guardians. So, and we have already been told that it is going to be tearjerkers. We already know Dave Bautista said this is his last run as Drax in the MCU. No word about Zoe Saldana or Bradley Cooper or Chris Pratt, but for the rest of the Guardians of the Galaxy troop, we do know that nobody has actually signed contracts beyond this movie. So take it how you will. When they say this is the last one, this is the last one for crew and director.
Different iterations of Guardians, so you know
exactly. So I still think we will have another group of Guardians. I just think, like I said, when James Gunn said this current run of Guardians is going to be it, I think a lot of people lost their doggone mind, and I don't know why. We can't keep telling the same stories over and over and over again with the same group. So I mean, do you not understand how many characters are in the MCU? How many iterations of Guardians there are? How many iterations of Avengers they are? Young Avengers, West Coast Avengers, Defenders. I can keep going down the list, but there's different iterations of different groups and matchups. But eventually, as we're about 20 plus years into Marvel storytelling now, there has to be a changing somewhere down the line, and I'm all for it. But moving along, Chad. But moving along. Anything else that you want to add, Joe, before we move along?
No, not really. Because I mean, all it is a picture right now, and you know, you can only glean so much from a single production photo.
Mm-hmm.
We know who's going to live more than likely. We know who's going to die more than likely. We know who's going to get together again more than likely. I mean, this one kind of writes itself. We just don't know how the dance is going to go at this point.
I mean, it is. I mean, it's one of those things that just it sticks, but it's weird. Which kind of is a segue into the next arc we have before we get to our next trailer. And I have so many questions. For all those that don't know, Tron. The original, love the original, will always be a fan of the original. The reboot was okay.
The soundtrack was better than the actual movie.
That is also true. But the
animated series, fantastic.
But the next thing is, well, confusing. Apparently, there's going to be a Tron 3 moving forward with Jared Leto, with the director from Pirates 5 that will helm the sequel to Tron Legacy. Why?
More time on motorcycles.
I have to ask this question. Who who asks for this? I feel this is a section that we need. I feel this is a section on GetBit we just need to call "Who asked for this?" Because this right here fits. I'm correct me if I'm wrong here, Joe. I didn't see a massive outcry for another Tron movie, or am I just under a rock?
There's always an outcry for another Tron movie because everybody just wants neon suits, techno music, and motorcycle and light cycles and discs and something, and it's really kept alive mostly through Kingdom Hearts and
Kingdom Hearts I get because Kingdom Hearts I get just because they incorporate anything Disney related. So I get that. And plus Kingdom Hearts is one of my favorite games. But it's I cannot help but where does it go from there?
I'm wondering if this isn't going to be picking up plot threads from the Uprising animated series, because that's the only thing I can really think of, since Tron 1 and 2 kind of really easily wrap up their storylines and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Unless Jared Leto's character is going to be after Olivia, is it Munn or Wilde?
Munn.
Is going after Olivia Munn's character in the real world and chases them into Tron?
I guess, but again, it's that, why do we need it? I'm that's what I'm stuck on. It's just like, it's like the new Scream movie, Scream 6. Why? It's like, to me at that point, it's just anybody wanting to be Ghostface.
I mean, they're getting boycotted as it is anyways, because Never Campbell's not coming back. So
oh well, they're gonna bully that one into the ground. But no, I just can't see past Tron 3. I can't. I mean, if you are a fan of it, I'm not knocking you if you are a fan of Tron. I just couldn't get into Legacy. The first one was just borderline okay. And I really feel bad for Jared Leto because the man just doesn't seem to catch a break in movies. No. I mean, I will give him this. House of Gucci, he was superb. And I wasn't gonna watch House of Gucci if it wasn't for my girlfriend before my fiance at the time who wanted to go see the movie. I would have never known about that role. So it's like him actually playing a Gucci, and I mean, it was well done. The man can act, but it amazes me so that I'm like, is this the next role you want to take, especially post Morbius? And again, like I said, I want success for the guy the same way, not as high as I wanted for Brendan Fraser, who, by the way, won the award for The Whale, and is actually starting to get more roles in Hollywood. So I'm more than happy for that guy. And I can never
listen to him on a good part on Dana Carvey and David Spade's podcast.
Say what?
So I just listened to Brendan Fraser on Dana Carvey and David Spade's podcast.
Oh, cool. And also
it was Brendan Fraser's very first podcast.
Yeah. And also I can never pronounce his name. I don't want to destroy his name either, because the guy who played Short Round Indiana Jones, I can never pronounce his name. He also played in everything. Thank you. Also good role. Also getting roles well. Also will probably be somewhere in the MCU after being asked by Kevin Feige. But
we know he's in Loki, but we don't know who he's going to be in Loki season 2.
I hope it's who I think it is, but I'm kind of keeping it to the chest right now. But again, two great guys who are getting a resurgence in Hollywood, and I love to see that. But I want to see Jared Leto be successful aside from House of Gucci, but I just don't see it in Tron 3. I really do not. Anything you want to add to that, Joe?
I think Tron 3 got a director, but that's about the only other thing I can add on to it.
I just don't see it. And let us know in the comments what you think about it. I just don't see it. I just do not see it for Tron 3. But speaking of things that we're looking forward to, Joe, I think you had an update for your One Piece Odyssey run, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I'm in Enos Lobby. This has been fun. Robin's back in the group. Mm-hmm. I'm fighting against CP9. I just defeated the giraffe man that likes to use swords. Yep. Going through some stuff. Keep getting tired of falling asleep on the stream. So that's why some streams are 5 to 6 hours long, because 2 of those hours I'm out cold. Works hard. Works hard, and I've been sick.
You haven't been getting comments and they try to wake you up, did they?
Oh no, I have one viewer, and half the time I think it's you, with it being turned on in the background.
You know, I thought about one time. I said I would go back and watch. It's like, how do I get him to wake up though? Because he's not gonna see. You know what? I'm sorry. Keep going.
No, so far it's been really good. This has been a great way to relearn the story because of alternate storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
I just re-met Frankie, and this is one of the scenarios where Frankie's off fixing the ship, so you're meeting imaginary original Frankie.
Yeah.
And you keep forgetting how radically different Frankie looks from originally meeting him to what he looks like now. Because he's just a dude in a Speedo with Popeye arms and a Hawaiian shirt. Now he's like about 85% cyborg now.
Yes.
You're like, oh, right. He looked like this originally.
Well, that's cool though. I actually bought One Piece Odyssey. I haven't started yet. Actually, I'm starting.
It really does ease you into the world because there's even certain things where like, oh, something happened really bad here. Okay, let me look at the memory and get to play a short clip.
Okay.
Of what this important thing is, because this important thing is not happening right now. Because for those that aren't aware, the Enos Lobby CP9 arc is where they kidnap Robin.
Mm-hmm.
And she is like, no, it's fine. I'll die. It's not a big deal. And the whole crux of that storyline is Robin finds her will to live.
Yeah.
In that. This time, for whatever reason, they kidnap Usopp, who's just screaming the whole time. So, and Robin's just like, well, this is interesting.
The one time she didn't get picked. the one time she didn't get picked.
Oh, yeah, no, but it's one of those, well, this is a lovely building on the outside.
Oh, God.
And it's like, yeah, we went through hell to rescue. And of course, in Nico Robin style, oh my. Well, thank you. I love it. So she's my favorite Straw Hat. Because it's one of those, it's a fine line of she's incredibly sincere, but because she's older, she's not really into half the shit they're into.
Damn.
He's like, why are you along? They get me to where I need to go to study archaeology things. It's like, you enjoy them? They're okay sometimes. Damn. But she still has one of her deadliest attacks.
Okay.
The one where she grabs Frankie and squeezes?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a thing, and it's universal weakness to all male characters in the game.
Nice.
Creature or otherwise.
Nice.
If you hear Dos Fleur,
see,
no, you're done.
See, I have got
don't get to have kids after that.
I have got to find time to play. So like I said, I got a backlog. Woo! But thank you for that, Joe. Also other games we want to talk about. Show, because this game I talked about, Joe has talked about it. Actually, now it went from being a concept to we didn't know if it was going to be a game. It was just announced yesterday that it has a 2024 summer release date. If you have been following this, I'm just as excited for next year for multiple reasons. But for this one alone, Black Myth Wukong will be released in summer of 2024. And here's a trailer for it, which, again, stick with it. It's funny.
To which I can only say, yes, I'm Son Goku.
Idea.
这老虎跑不动啊！你傻呀？没看到它变成石头了吗？还上去打？快躲起来！先滚远点吧！再滚了！你没 葫芦要死了，先喝一口，快！
知道，我先一口它。
这个不错。再喝一口。行吧，你还乱跑什么？上去打它呀！
没跑，别这样！
快！
哎呦，完了，我的肉卡了！
别急，
I'm looking so forward to that. Again, that was the announcement trailer for Black Myth Wukong. If you don't know, it is based off the Monkey King and the war against heaven. It does have some Dark Soul tendencies, but still, it looks great. At the same time, the whole comic thing with getting into work and loading times, and if you've never understood, for all those that have been through that, we understood exactly what that rabbit was feeling. But of course, 2024 is the year of the rabbit, but I'm happy. Joe, any thoughts on Black Myth Wukong?
Yes, I am Son Goku.
Hey, Vaughn.
What
What
in the Elmer J. Fudd?
Yeah, Vaughn, you had to be here at the beginning. That's just how they announced it. But no, Black Myth Wukong is definitely going to be one of those games that I am definitely going to order the very first chance I get. It'll more than likely be next gen. I don't imagine it's going to be on PS4 or Xbox Xbox Series X. Excuse me, Xbox One is the word I meant to say. So more than likely, we will probably be seeing this on PS5 and Xbox Series X and PC, just because of how intensive it is. But it honestly looks freaking great. I cannot wait to finally play and experience it. But speaking of things to experience, Joe, I believe you had some thoughts on Willow, sir.
Yeah, I did.
Good or bad?
All right, so the analogy I put on this, the original Willow movie, fantasy drama, best way to look at it, a good counterpart movie to be watching this, Lady Hawk.
Okay.
You get a little bit of comedy in there, but ultimately it's a drama. In this Willow series, the best way I can say about it, it's that one episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer where they go to the Renaissance Festival.
Oh, damn.
That's what this is. They sit there and have the trolls. They sit there and play with these trolls in one episode. They are very well-spoken Britishmen. It's a whole cave of trolls.
Well,
like the whole thing, it's very Whedon-esque, and every other line of dialogue is a joke. Everyone's very pretty. Even Borman, who's like the Mad Mardigan of this thing.
Okay.
Very, very pretty. I mean, Danny Warwick is fantastic in this, but in the grand scheme of things, the humor wasn't there. A lot of the characters did not hit. The dialogue is what really kept me back on some things.
So I gotta ask you, because I have yet to see it. Is it worth watching?
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I mean, it's not hurting anybody. It's not terribly offensive. This isn't Velma we're talking about.
I'm sorry.
There's nothing inherently wrong with it, but it's just one of those, why is it like this? It's like Lady Hawk, and I go back to Lady Hawk because this is a good analogy.
Okay.
Maybe Matthew Broderick's in there for your comic relief. He doesn't say too much. What he does, it's funny. But there's a good bit of drama, a sense of weight and gravity and everything. In this one, it's what if baby Matthew Broderick was 85% of the cast.
Hmm.
And the story involved him 85% of the time.
So a light Ferris Bueller's Day Off with magic?
No, I didn't say a movie about how to spot a sociopath. Because that's what that is. Ferris Bueller's Day Off is a study of how to spot a sociopath.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not the first person to say that. I just got reminded of that.
No, but
yeah. Vaughn, did you like? We said, "Damn, Joe, Velma jab." Did you like Velma, Vaughn? I can't imagine too many people that did like Velma. From what I've been told,
you need to turn him into the police now.
Dang, because I mean, but almost everybody I talked to was like, I was like, well, that's about the same reaction I got from everybody else. But what were you saying, Joe?
No, I mean, like in the grand scheme of things, the best actor in there is actually the kid that played Flash Thompson in the Spider-Man No Way trilogy.
Okay.
He gets a role in this movie, and he does a fantastic job. But him and the actual Willow actor, they're like the best ones out there. Like they have one other guest appearance by one of the original cast members, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, it's just like serious line, joke, serious line, joke, and it gets old. Also, if you're prone to seizures, be warned on the last episode. That thing strobes harder than an 80s German discotheque.
Damn. You might as well start playing Rammstein at that point. Du Hast. You might as well start playing Du Hast at that point. But okay, that's good to know. And
it's harmless, but it's just one of those. If you watch the original Willow movie,
mm-hmm.
and then you watch this series, you're gonna go, "The hell happened in this kingdom for 30 years?"
So you're saying be prepared for adjustments.
I mean, without the Nazi hyenas, yes, be prepared.
You're not gonna have me start singing that. I'm not gonna start singing that. Thank you, Joe. So moving right along, because I am not going to start singing "Be Prepared."
We sing moving right along.
There's a new biography out of Star Trek. You're not gonna get me to sing it, Joe. There's a new biography coming out of Star Trek. The autobiography of Benjamin Sisko, the life of Starfleet's legendary captain, the emissary, edited by Derek Tyler Attico. Which looks like it will be released sometime this year. They don't actually have a release date for it, but we do know that it is coming out this year. Me and Joe have both sat there and said this when it comes to Starfleet captains. Sisko is that dude. Sisko will always be that dude.
I will put it out right now. The thing hindering me on getting this book on audiobook, I'll definitely get it at hardcover, will be if Avery Brooks comes to read it. The issue with that is Avery Brooks is not on the best terms with Star Trek.
Right.
So I'm going to hope they drive up to him with a Decepticon Constructicon dump truck worth of money, say, please read this book.
Take me to jail, lock me up, don't be a menace. I did like Velma.
Okay, first off, you're not supposed to be a menace in South Central while drinking your OJ. It was very clear in the title.
Oh well, there was bound to be one person that would like Velma. I just couldn't get into it, but to each his own.
The rumors are true and how they actually introduced Scooby.
We hope that's not the case. We hope, but no. Avery Brooks, as Joe said, Avery Brooks, and Gene Roddenberry's company are not on the best speaking terms. Would I like to see him come back in some capacity? I would love to see him come back on the final season of Picard, just to say in passing. I would love to see that. I mean, we're already getting a lot of the old crew for his final season, so why not get a Janeway appearance or a Sisko appearance?
Janeway is actually doing the actual actor is doing like big time work in Prodigy, because if you're watching Prodigy, it's really a continuation of voice.
It's her baby. It's Jane. Prodigy is basically Janeway's story. I will not argue that. But I would love to see, because Jean-Luc Picard is getting up there. We know eventually he is going to retire from acting if he hasn't already got that in his plans as it is. But just for nostalgia's sake, just to see that, I think would be pretty cool. But again,
like I said, a lot of in this audiobook, when it comes out to audio, it's gonna really depend on if Avery Brooks does this or not. Like, the only other acceptable person I would have read this book would be Jake, and making the book read from like Jake telling you Cisco's life story.
True. But we have to see, as more information will come out, of course, this year. Now, we do have a couple more trailers. I want to start with this one because this is a Disney Plus. It's a Disney Plus one called American Born Chinese. Now, I barely glanced at this trailer. Joe has not seen this trailer, so this is gonna be just a cold open for both of us. As from what I've been told, this is based on a book about, well, let's just watch the trailer and find out.
Jin, did you wear clean underwear?
Yeah, I did, Mom. What kind of a question is that?
The American Born Chinese is a show based on Jin Lunyang's graphic novel that explores culture and identity through the lens of adolescence.
We're twins. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of magic. There's a lot of badass action.
The show wants to be what we are, which is our own version of American.
Dude, welcome to Rockstar status. This is pretty cool.
And we're adding a lot of characters that you would recognize if you watch Chinese movies.
And we've put together this pretty crazy dream team of creatives, both behind and in front of the camera.
Whoa! We're on Disney Plus, so it's like the home of these big, epic folk tales, from Cinderella to Little Mermaid, and the Monkey King in Chinese mythology is another one.
Do you know anything about the Monkey King?
Uncle? Everybody knows him.
We have the chance here to expand from the family to the superhero-ness of the Monkey King. With 8 episodes and a main character like Jin Wang.
Please don't say anything to make him mad.
Their highs are your highs, and their lows are your lows. The heart of the show is this friendship.
Come on, throw me one.
It is a magical ride. And that's what Disney Plus is about, isn't it?
You know what? I dig it. I dig it. It is, you know, for the way they're doing it, and I say this all the time, and I know I cannot speak. I will not try to speak from that area. I will not try to represent that area, but I will say this, and then I'm gonna pass off to Joe. Representation matters, and you can tell by how many people, Lucy Liu, Michelle Yeoh, Daniel Creston, who actually directed Shang-Chi. You can tell this is going to be great. And all I can sit there and say is I want to watch it. That's all I got. Joe, what about you?
I mean, this is based off Jin Luang Yang. God, I can never pronounce his name correctly. Google Jin Lun Yang. Comic writer, phenomenal comic writer. Single-handedly did probably one of the most memorable Shang-Chi runs, even though for whatever weird reason Marvel split into 2 books in a one-shot.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. It should have just been Shang-Chi, Master of the Ten Rings the whole time, but for whatever reason, they're adapting his look of a kid's life getting messed up by the Monkey King.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious because I think he's also doing the Monkey Prince over at DC right now.
Okay.
Let me make sure that's the thing.
I was loving the fact of just, you know, the fact that you have and Lucy Liu directing. I was like, the moment I saw Michelle Yeoh, I was like, okay, I'm in. Whatever she would, in whatever capacity she's there, I'm watching. That's I mean, the only thing I can say more is like if you included more martial artists, especially of that caliber, dude. That's all I can
So
say.
I mean, he's done numerous comics that I read. He's writing the
Mhm.
Monkey Prince.
Mhm.
He did the Asian Superman, new Superman with Keenan Kong, who's coming back into comics again.
Okay.
He's writing Lazarus, part of the Lazarus project going on right now for DC. Like I said, he just got off Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings. This is getting adapted. We're seeing a wonderful amount of Chinese representation, Asian representation, which is just outstanding for me and quite a bit of my friends. We are just all aglow for everything happening right now.
It just looks cool. I said I could enjoy that, but no release date yet. We do know it's gonna be on Disney Plus, so expect news at light speed these days because that could change between here and tomorrow. But if we do get a release date, we will definitely let you know. The next show that we do have has been long awaited because again, we haven't seen this series on Amazon Prime for a little over a year now. But we will get our first look at season 2 of Invincible.
Pretty good. Look at that. Not bad, Mark. You're not just invincible, you're also like Earth's best food cooking man. Pretty impressive.
What? Oh, no, I just worked here. I don't actually make the food.
Next time also, constructive criticism, do not put these green things in here. These are gross.
Yeah, hey, so did you ever find Urath?
Yeah, of course I found it. Very, very quickly, very easily. Yellow skies, purple grass, and get this, they have burgers there too, just like these. Who would have guessed, huh?
You never found it, right?
No, nope, not even close. I hope they're okay. I think about them quite a bit, honestly. But how about you? What have you been up to? It's been a while. I think everyone agrees it's been like a little ridiculous how long it's been.
Hey, I've been busy.
Doing what?
Well, I've been busy writing, designing, storyboarding, voice acting, key posing, in-betweening, cleaning up, color slapping, comping the whole thing and all that for, roughly thousands of shots. So it's kind of a lot.
Sure, yeah. Although like 90% of that, if I'm being honest, sounds completely made up. But the real question is, when are you going back out there? The world needs more Invincible.
Oh, it's coming, okay? Hey!
Yeah, I know, but like a specific date would be nice.
Oh, but okay, fine. The world will get more Invincible in late 2023.
All right, okay, I'll take it. Late 2023. Perfect, sure. So 2023, is that like one of your years? You know, our planet, they all have different systems of keeping track of time. Like they go around their stars at different speeds, but the way you said that number makes
You know what? Seth Rogen is us. He's us.
He's me because he doesn't like pickle on his burger.
Oh, I hate pickles on burgers too. But brilliant. Freaking brilliant.
I also like that they had the possible deniability to, on the thing. Late 2023, more or less.
Less. But if you haven't been under a rock, Invincible was a breakout hit. It actually did follow Amazon The Boys on Amazon Prime. Was great for Stephen Yao actually playing Mark. Dang it, what's his name? That played Omni-Man. I cannot think of his name, and I should know it as many times as we keep on hoping. We keep on calling him J. Jonah Jameson, and I cannot.
Okay, Simmons?
Thank you. Playing Omni-Man. That's sad. I should know that as many times as I keep calling him J. Jonah Jameson. But no, if you haven't seen Invincible, you really should. It is not for kids. Not for kids.
No.
I have to stress that very heavily because people try to come at me for The Boys. I never said The Boys was a kid's show. It literally tells you it's not a kid's show. It tells you at the very beginning, not for kids. You still watch it at that point, it's on you. But But no, for the adults, Invincible is great. I'm hoping in 2023. Again, they didn't say when we're going to get it. It could be summer, it could be fall. Let's just be honest, we don't know. But we do know it's coming, more or less. But shout out to Seth Rogen for just providing that comic relief and just giving us that information. But Joe, anything that we're expecting from season 2 Invincible, or we're just hoping for a day at this point, more or less?
Like, what are we in store for?
I mean, it can go multiple ways.
No, I think the next storyline is his home planet invades, and it's that one dude who's stronger than his dad.
Yeah, that's the lead. What's his name? It'll come to me later. He's the leader. He's basically the leader of the people. That's the strongest virtue. That's the strongest of his race. Yeah. He's supposed to be the strongest of the race, and Omni-Man can't beat him.
Yeah.
I cannot think of his name to save my life right now.
And I think Adam Eves finally gets with Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That will they or won't they finally gets answered. But no. We're looking forward to that in 2023. But again, you gotta love when you don't have an answer, but you give an answer, but you don't really commit to the answer, but you give us something. So that counts. But the next show I got, guys, before we get into some comic book news, before we actually do our comic book pools, because a lot has happened in the comic book world, did want to cover this because this actually did get released, and it does kind of make some people sad. Cobra Kai did announce season 6, but season 6 is the final season for this show. But here's the trailer for Cobra Kai.
We've been fighting so long. Against each other. With each other. It's hard to keep track.
The training, the tournaments, the rivalries, the lessons. It hasn't always been smooth. But after all this time, we've built something together to be proud of.
So let me ask you, do you have one more fight left in you?
All right, and that was the trailer for Cobra Kai. Of course, no date as of yet, guys. They said coming soon. It is kind of sad because that season 6 will be the final season for Cobra Kai. Who knew from a start on YouTube and that, from YouTube to Netflix that it got this far, but not really. I mean, the thing about it is, it started out as a web series and then just exploded to the monster that it is now. And it would be sad to see it go, but at the same time, I'm glad about the run and seeing how they're going to wrap. Of course, they're not going to wrap up the story, but it's going to possibly probably put in there, because let's be honest, with most things in Hollywood, once you've had a successful series, they want to make it into a universe because they've seen Marvel do it. They think they can do it. And I hope it doesn't come to that. I just rather this be a nice 6 seasons of episodes and just be done with it. But Joe, what do you think?
I haven't seen season 1, episode 1.
You never watched any of the Cobra Kai yet?
No.
Okay. I'll tell you what.
Has it not crossed over with Chuck Norris's sidekicks?
No.
Has it crossed over with Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon?
No. Oh, come on now. You know what? If
you don't want season 7 them to going up against Shonuff?
You know what? I've always wanted, now that we're on the subject, I've always wanted a round 2 at The Last Dragon, because Chris Fury on Blurred's Eye View, he said this best. He said Shonuff wasn't the bad guy. If you really think about it, he just wanted to test his skills against who was the best. And if you really think about it, you can't argue that. I mean, he wanted to fight Bruce Leroy, and that's all he wanted to do. He had no malice. He had nothing in it. He just wanted to prove he was the best.
No, he had malice because remember he wrecked the family's pizza place in order to get to him.
Frustration. Frustration.
Making apologies for the bad guy.
Frustration and tactics.
No, actually, they did talk about doing a web series or something.
Yeah.
Sequel where it actually shows the master who taught him the red glow.
I would like that though.
I mean, I'm gonna say this, and I don't mean any like derogatory thing.
Mm-hmm.
Fairy Gore's Last Dragon is all about how Black Goku gets Ultra Instinct.
I thought you were gonna say Kato can. I was gonna say can. I can see that actually if you think about it.
Well, if you think about what the glow really is, it's able to move the body without thinking.
Yeah, it is. You're right. It is Ultra Instinct.
It's how Black Goku goes and gets Ultra Instinct and fights that version of Jiren.
But isn't that kind of messed up though that he didn't really get angelic training? he didn't really train with the angels.
He just angelique. So he got angelic training.
It could. But no, I would love to see the show enough side of it. But that is kind of wishful thinking because I think it can be done, especially now. You can still do modern storytelling. You can still do show enough as a young disciple. You can see him, go hold up. You know what would be cool? I would love to see who they would get for his senpai. I would love to see that. Who would be shown up
that they can cross over with? Oh, the not quite Karate Kid with Jackie Chan and Jaden Smith.
Oh God, I never. The funny part is, I watched 5 minutes of that and I cut it off.
Really wasn't that bad.
I couldn't bring myself to watch it. I'm like, it's that Karate Kid is for a new generation versus us, where we had the originals, and it's like I just couldn't bring myself to finish it.
I love the new one. The new one was fantastic.
You're better than me. I couldn't.
You didn't get far enough. Like once Jackie Chan really gets into the movie, it takes off real well.
I might give another shot, but no, Shonuff actually, if they did do Shonuff's story, I would watch it. I really would. But no, but going back to Cobra Kai, of course, that does come out coming soon. If it falls within the usual releases, I think the last Cobra Kai released around September, October, I believe. So if it stays true to that, then that's probably where we're gonna finally see the final season. But anyway, comic book news. Before we get to our comic book pools, just because so much has happened, we do need to start with this one first. Jujutsu Kaisen creator has said that he declares where he plans to end the series. He did actually state in Shueisha's weekly Shonen Jump, he hopes to finish the manga story this year. Now, Jujutsu Kaisen, for all those who don't know or still waiting on season 2, which will be coming out this year, if you've been following the manga, it has been great. I don't want to spoil it because I've been reading the manga religiously and I love where the story's going. But the fact that he wants to end it after 21 manga volumes is completely normal. Just because most mangas, unless you're One Piece or Naruto, or I think Naruto is more than 21 volumes. One Piece is gonna have a library after all said and done. But yeah, there's nothing wrong. I mean, with Jujutsu Kaisen ending at less than 21 volumes, I got no issue with that. But Joe, have you read any of the Jujutsu Kaisen manga or watched the anime?
Maki is best girl. You cannot tell me otherwise.
No argument there. No argument there.
Or Nobara. It's a tie between Maki and Nobara.
No, I go with Maki. I just can't beyond Maki. I'm with that. But no, nothing wrong with the manga ending. Again, the thing about mangas is, guess what? You can go back and read the whole doggone thing again. Just saying.
You can do that with comics too. You just gotta find the part.
Yep, pretty much. But speaking of things, if you have because again, with some things, if you try and fail, Apparently, third time's the charm. The reason why I'm saying that is because Biker Mice from Mars is making a comeback as an animated series and with toys. Now, for all those that don't remember from the 90s series, the 90s series had a whole bunch of out there cartoons. Biker Mice from Mars was one of them. I'm not gonna lie, that made me want a motorcycle after watching this. After watching that cartoon when I was a kid, they have been trying to bring back more than once. This is actually the third time around. Excuse me, but I'm curious to see what they're going to do. I mean, toys wise, toys will sell. They always sell. But animated series wise, it's going to be interesting to see what they come up with. But Joe, any thoughts on that as far as this third go around for Biker Mice from Mars?
Where are the Street Sharks?
Oh, we'll never get that.
Where are the Tiger Sharks?
You already know.
You don't know what Tiger Sharks. If you know what Tiger Sharks are, congratulations, you're as old as I am.
You know we will never get those. We will never. As much as I would love to have Street Sharks back, could you try to explain? I mean, we will never get that again.
I will go older, and only Will know what this is. Where are the Street Frog toys?
You're right. We may be the only two people that know exactly what that is. Oh man. Oh
no,
man.
but like in all seriousness, like this came out at a weird time. This was one of the UPN cartoons right up there with Captain Bucky O'Hare and the Toad Wars, Captain Simeon and the Space Monkeys. One of those cartoons where the men look like men and the women look like ridiculously hot women for no reason.
Dude, that's about 6 different cards. That's about 6 different ones.
Yeah, but they were all on UPN, so it doesn't matter.
You gotta give me a little bit more to go on than that. That's like, I mean, yeah, you may have said UPN. That narrows it down to 4. 90s?
Yeah, 90s. Remember, UPN and the and CW were two different things, and they fused together.
True.
Remember, UPN is where Buffy was on originally.
True. I'm trying to think.
It also was one of the ones where they shoved all those toy pilots, like Trolls, the Battletoads cartoon, stuff like that. Usually appeared on UPN. Capital Critters.
Oh,
Dog
wow.
City, Fishtails.
Yeah, I just can't think of the one that you're describing.
No, I'm describing Biker Mice from Mars.
Oh,
they had the female counterpart that was human.
Yeah,
Captain Simeon and the Space Chimps.
Yep,
their
that's another
female
one.
character was built like that.
Yeah,
like everyone had the April O'Neil body.
Of course, because that was the blueprint. That was the blueprint. That's why. But no, I'm not sure how they're gonna go with that though, because unless you're gonna modernize it, I could be wrong. I just have to wait and see. I have to wait and see when
There's
it's
so many
actually out
better
there.
cartoons I want modernized or back.
Mhm.
Like, give me a new season of Exo Squad.
Oh, that would be cool. Actually,
Make it just as dark and gritty as the last one.
Exo Squad was kind of. I mean, that was like X-Men '90s dark. It was X-Men '90s dark. It was. I was trying to think of another show that was like that.
Mighty Max.
No, Mighty Max was dark. Mighty Max was definitely light darkish. I was gonna say Mask, but Mask was more like Silverhawks. It was upbeat and positive. But no, we didn't have too many cartoons that were that dark. Even Pirates of Dark Water was positive, which you would think. Pirates of Dark Water, you would think would be a little bit more grimier, but I could be wrong.
Peter Pan and the Pirates.
Yeah, also positive. It's
no, that got dark quick on some episodes.
That is true. About five or six that were scattered, but yeah, you're right. But this one I had to point out this comic because I'm surprised that this guy he gets a lot. I'm talking about Archie because Archie has, how can I put this ever so nicely?
Archie's just run the gauntlet.
Yeah, Archie apparently has ran the gauntlet across multiple fandoms and things of that nature. This one, however, takes the cake that he's basically, as you can tell, with the Mad Max backdrop, that he's basically going to be in a post-apocalyptic world called Archie versus the World. I I'm trying to understand this because every time I look at him, I'm like, I get Mad Max, but I also get Fist of the North Star. Just because he has that one shoulder, but that one the shoulder protector or the shoulder guard on the other one, but the other arm is exposed. It's like, are you Mad Max or are you Fist of the North Star? I can't tell. But
no, he's definitely Mad Max. He's not Kenshiro.
Okay, because I'm like, the way it looks, I'm like, you're a 1 to 2. But
I mean, he's been what? His normal book, he was killed in one of his books. He's been killed, fought the Punisher, fought vampires, zombies, dealt with Sabrina, both good and dark Sabrina.
Yeah.
Werewolves, Predator, Punisher.
He's ran a lot. There's just no other way I could put that. He's ran a lot. There's just how can I put this ever so nicely? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not the biggest Archie fan. I know there is a following. For a lot of people that follow Archie, I'm not knocking you guys. Everybody has their fandoms. I couldn't get into it just because they put him in so many things. But if Mad Max Archie's for you, more power to you. Also, as we're going along, guys, Guardians of the Galaxy. Actually, let me start from the beginning because we actually got some news that I want Joe to take over on because Marvel is going to be releasing their April 2023 solicits, and some of the actual titles are coming up with. Some of them I didn't expect, and some I'm looking forward to. But I'll let Joe run from here on this as I get this pulled up. Because as it shows here, guys, of course we see, excuse me. Wow, I can't talk to save my life. So we actually looks like we're going to get a Planet of the Apes, which again is a reboot series. It looks like a whole bunch of variant covers. Ooh, wow. If I could try to pronounce these names, they'd be great. It looks like for the writers, you're going to have
Oh,
no, go ahead.
Let me zoom in on that. It's a Salvador Larroca and Yannick Patak, Mike
I'm gonna go with that.
McConey, Logan Labara, George Suka, to be announced. Also available. Yeah.
Okay. Because I was like, I actually should go back because you know what? I've never read Planet of the Apes as far as the comics, and I think I will actually give that a shot. Joe, have you ever read Planet of the Apes?
I still want to see the new trilogy that's come out. I have yet to be able to track down a Blu-ray copy that has all three. I did get the most of the times whenever I see Planet of the Apes, somehow they're part of a Godzilla movie.
Give or take. Give or take. Of course, they also show Guardians of the Galaxy, which is why does Guardians of the Galaxy have a Doom variant? Have a Doom cover?
Oh, Doom goes into space all the time now. It's a thing.
Okay, so it looks like Guardians of the Galaxy wait a minute.
No, click over to
and Star-Lord. Okay. I was like, that's not who I think that is.
Yeah, click 3 over to the one where it's like the big, that one. Yeah, this is going to be what the new team is. So it looks like it's Drax, Old Man Star-Lord possibly, Mantis, Nebula, and Gamora. That's going to be our new version of Guardians.
Okay.
This is coming out around the same time as the book or as the movie. So if you don't see Rocket in this lineup, there's a reason.
Or Groot.
There's a reason. So this is going to be written by Colin Quinn and Jackson Lanzick. Kev Walker's art. cover art's by Martichetto, so that's going to be very pretty.
Yeah.
Timeless Doctor Doom. So that means Doom's getting something to do with crossing over into the King Timeless book. But Doom's also been a Guardian of the Galaxy when Rocket swapped bodies with him and
That
then
was so
refused to give it back because he wanted all the gizmos in Doom's armor.
Yeah.
Doom was stuck in Rocket's body and was made fun of mercilessly the whole time.
That's still funny. Okay. Okay. They do get the backdrop out. 1 year ago, the Guardians were destroyed. After the future was shattered by betrayal by one of their own. Now they ride the space lanes with lawless corner of the galaxy, try to outrun their tragedy. Oh, so writers will be Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly, who did Civil Liberty. Okay, I'm okay with that. Rocket Raccoon Marvel Tales. Oh, so he's getting his own series.
No, this is not a new book. This is Rocket Raccoon's original run. They are just reissuing it. This is his book from '85.
Gotcha. Oh, and I just thought about I just had a flashback to that. Oh, okay. So this is basically his telling of. I don't have to go back.
But this has artwork by Mike Mignola. So Hellboy's artist doing was one of the original writers for Rocket.
Nice. I'm going to go back and find that and read that. And Adam Warlock is in Strange Tales 178 Facsimile Edition. So that's going to be interesting. The Adam Warlock everybody's expecting. I'm sorry, but we are not going to get Adam Warlock in a male romper. That's just not happening.
You just never know.
If we get him in a male
We're
romper,
getting more and more accurate costumes, whether it works with the characters or not. Do I need to remind you of Hercules?
Fair. Although that needed some adjustments, but fair. But no. Okay. So they're going to release Strange Tales for that. Looks like it's written by Jim Starlin, penciled and covered by Jim Starlin. Okay. I can live with that. And of course, the funny part is, as Joe has pointed out, there is another name for Adam Warlock, the Magus. But again, we're going to see if they're going to cover that in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And of course, they also have the Warlock Rebirth, which looks like number 1 of 5. Love the art for that, actually. I like that. Oh, Warlock Rebirth. Oh, what?
Hip Patrol.
Yeah, I couldn't think of his name to save my life. And really? Howard the Duck with the gauntlet beats Adam Warlock. That has got to be a what if. That has got to be a what if situation.
Ooh, this is written by Ron Mars, co-creator of Kyle Rayner. This may actually be pretty fun.
Nice.
Art and color by Ron Lim.
That's gonna stick with me. Howard the Duck beating Adam Warlock. But no, I dig that as well. Looks like Guardians of the Galaxy Bane of Blastar.
This is a one-shot.
Because
this is the current run of Guardians because Nova's in it again.
Nova needs to appear. Nova needs to appear in this phase. He really, really does. Looks like Ralph Macchio is the writer. David Dinto is the artist, and the cover is by Todd. Oh, forgive me. Thank you. That's cool though. So you said this, yeah. I see what you're talking about. It's a one shot.
That's a one shot.
Alien
gets another new book. We don't need to talk about Alien. None of that book has been good thus far.
Why on God's green? You know what? Moving on. Storm of the Brotherhood of Mutants.
So this is part of Sinister. So Sinister is taking all the books and is changing them to certain things. So instead of X-Men Red, now we're getting Storm and the Brotherhood of Mutants.
But still, it's Storm. We'll read that wholeheartedly.
Oh yeah, no, without a doubt. Al Ewing is writing it. Alessandro Vitti. So that writing team and art team has not changed from X-Men Red.
Yeah.
We'll keep on going with it.
Oh, sorry. And looks like we got okay. So we do there.
Dominion.
Yep. And I was wondering with you. Oh, sorry. Hang on.
Kieran Gillen. Yep. Nope. This is going to be good. Lucas Rennick and Paco Paco Medina. Medina's artwork I've seen before. I enjoyed it. The big thing is that Karen Gillian's writing it.
Yeah.
Karen Gillan has been a fantastic writer. He's writing Immortal X-Men. He was the principal writer for the Axe storyline.
Nice. And we have Immortal X-Men.
With the hybrid mutant known only as Rasmutant,
Huh.
which is a hybrid of Ileana and Colossus as a single being.
That's a very powerful being. Okay. And looks like you also have Karen Gillan as the writer on this one, Alessandro Vitti as the artist.
It's going to be good.
Yep, I can agree with that. And Nightcrawlers.
Well, that is a dead, burning corpse of Galactus in the background.
Just roasting. So apparently he's Bonfire now.
So it's a it's a chimera of Nightcrawler and Laura. That's terrifying.
That is the
And
stuff.
it looks like she's got a tail spike too, tail claw.
That is the stuff of nightmares. If a child of Wolverine and Nightcrawler had a child.
So this is written by Cy Spurrier, also art by Alejandro Vitti. So this is the Knights of X, or Way of X, Legion of X writer doing Nightcrawlers.
I'm sorry, but that's unholy.
This makes me happy. This makes me so happy. This is the Omega issue. We can end this godforsaken run of Avengers.
Go ahead. I feel you had more to say on that.
Yeah, we can just end this shit show of Avengers book. Thank God.
Joe had that one at the ready. I'm sorry.
I do not know anybody that enjoys this Jason Aaron run. I really don't.
Oh God,
Jason Aaron writes phenomenal single books. This man can't write a team book to save his life.
Dang. Okay. Well, you can take.
Jason Aaron's writing it. Javier Garon, Aaron Kruder, Tinto, Ivan Ferrelli, and more doing art in this. I'm not reading this. I'm skipping to the reboot, which has already been announced. It's Jed McKay is writing it. I already know the line of the Avengers. I think we got something about that in just a bit. This is another mini. It's not a big deal.
Okay. A War Across Time is a filler. Looks like Avengers Beyond. Oh, why does it have? Wait, that's not?
Yeah, that's Luke.
Oh hell no! Oh no! So Wasp goes crazy and kills. No. Moving right along.
Hellcat. I mean, this is another mini.
Do like the art on this though. Oh, they went back to that's a classic. Oh, okay. Art by Christopher Cantwell, Alex Lenz, and cover by Pierre Perez. I like that. Ghost Rider.
Osmond Ghost Rider is back. Thank God.
That's cool. I like the cover on that one. Looks like Stephanie Phillips is the writer, Juan Cabal is the artist. Cover by Valerio. Ooh, wow. Giordano. I am so sorry if I destroy your name. I am so sorry, but it looks like two Cosmic Ghost Riders. One is the reclusive Frank Castle. Frank Castle is a Ghost Rider.
Frank Castle was Cosmic Ghost Rider. He was hilarious.
I have to read that. Doctor Strange.
This is the new Strange book. So Doctor Strange. So we're going to be looking later. Strange has ended. We are now looking at husband and wife Strange. And much like now most of the Marvel Universe, this is written by Jed McKay.
Which I can see. Art by Pascal Ferry, cover by Alex Ross. Yeah, because when we get to the comic pools, that's going to be interesting how they wrap that up. Spider-Gwen, Shadow Clone.
Spider-Gwen gets clones.
I don't know how I feel about
Not
this.
only the Clone Saga, but the Insidious 6 saga folded into one because I think the Jackal got into her universe and has made clones of Gwen, but they're also all the Insidious 6.
I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like they just rehashed it.
The Gwen book right now, and as much as I love Spider-Gwen, this book continuously gets dropped and then picked up, then dropped and then picked up. Like the last time we had a Spider-Gwen solo book was The King in Black.
Huh.
When her versus Mary Jane became that universe's Carnage.
Yeah, that just yeesh. Venom, Lethal Protector.
Yeah, the Untold Tale of 90s Venom.
I'm not mad about that because I would read that, especially with Silver Sable and Punisher.
That's not Punisher. That's Nick Fury.
Oh, dang.
Keep
My
forgetting
bad.
Nick Fury used to be David Hasselhoff at one point.
Yeah, I keep forgetting the eye patch was throwing me off. David Michelli is the writer. Farrad Karami is the artist. I would read those. Hallows Eve.
Hallows Eve. I don't. This is going on after Dark Web, and it looks like Werewolf by Night, maybe? No, that's a security guard, but
yeah,
something's going on. I don't know why she's getting her own miniseries. Hopefully Dark Web will explain it.
We like to think so.
This is probably just somebody's new favorite character in the writing room, and they want to give her.
They want to give her a shot.
That's fine. I'm not gonna badmouth it. I just don't understand what's going on with her after Dark Web, but also Dark Web hasn't ended.
Yeah. Red Goblin.
Oh yeah, that's right, Red Goblin.
That's interesting.
And he's fighting the Gray Goblin.
With the picture of the Sandman.
That's just a variant cover by Alex Ross.
I don't know how I feel about that one. Aside from the Goblin King, and you have a Goblin Queen, now you have a Red Goblin.
Red Goblin was just what Norman called himself when he had the Carnage symbiote attached to him. But now I think it's a different symbiote, and I think Red Goblin is Normie Osborn, his grandson.
Gotcha. Okay. Amazing Spider-Man 23. Ooh.
Don't care. I am dropping into this book. I'll come back when it's not Zeb Wells, and I'll definitely come back when John Romita Jr. is not writing it or drawing it. I don't care what happened to Peter 6 months ago. Burn that bridge.
That was the quickest rejection on earth. Do we want to cover Amazing Spider-Man 24?
Not really, because it proves my art right there. John Romita Jr. makes everyone look like themselves.
Oh, wow. Mary Jane and Black Cat.
This I'll read because it's Jed McKay, and this was a fantastic fun. I still am not thrilled that Mary Jane suddenly has roulette superpowers. But that's what this book is for, is to explain what happened to Mary Jane in the 6-month absence, where Peter and MJ mysteriously vanished and come back, and MJ's got kids, and Peter's alone, and I don't care about the primary book, but I'll read this because I like Jed McKay's writing.
Oh man. Miles Morales Spider-Man number 5.
This has been fantastic.
Okay.
I've already been keeping up with this, and the best thing I like so far is that he is starting to be a little bit like Peter was like, oh, everything's my fault, and everyone keeps telling Miles, Miles, shut up, you have friends. Let's work this out. Let's talk.
You do know we do know who his mentor is. Just pointing that out.
Yeah, but I like that people are being more proactive in the Miles book than the Peter book. They're not getting frustrated with Miles. They are forcing Miles to actually sit down.
That is true. Writer is going to be Cody Ziegler on this one. Federico Vedicini as the artist, covered by Dyke Ruin.
Like I said, this has been fantastic. Love it. Carnage, don't care. It's Carnage.
Damn. All right.
Carnage is only there to do one thing.
Well, yeah, true. Venom 18.
Venom, I'm not reading Venom because it's super confusing. It deals with time travel because everybody in this picture is
Mhm.
all Venom all at the same time at all different points of time in Eddie's timeline.
Yeah, that isn't the doesn't. If I remember correctly from the dark web, that didn't make any sense either. Okay, fair enough. Spider
But no,
Man.
it's not Spider-Man. This is equally worthless.
Damn.
And I hate saying this, but I don't like current Spider-Man outside of Dark Web right now.
Marvel Voices Spider-Verse #1.
Why is there more Spider-Verse?
Because they're gonna run Spider-Man into the ground. You know that.
Well, I mean, they're going to because, I mean, at this point, this is April solicits, so
Yeah.
we're 2 months out from the Spider-Verse movie.
True. So you know they're gonna go with that. So, which is weird unless they're gonna do separate stories.
Yeah, this is separate stories. Iron Man, I don't know anybody reading Iron Man.
I used to, but I haven't kept up with it in a while. I haven't kept up with Iron Man enough in a while to really give an opinion on where it is as of right now with its run. But
I
I
have
need to get back
one
to that.
small run of Iron Man, and that is only because that is where Ben Reilly is right before the Beyond Dark.
Rogue and Gambit.
Will read this because I love the married couple.
Really? She beats down Black Panther?
Look, it's in a barn, Wakanda. We don't know what was said.
Rogue beats down Black Panther.
I would think she's probably one of the few people that can.
With Miss Marvel's powers, I guess. I mean, she get a shot in, but I would read that anyway, considering how Rogue and how Gambit and Rogue's mother interacted. I would read that.
Mrs. X, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Betsy Braddock, Captain Britain. This is the continuation of Knights of X, which was also at one point Excalibur. So this is just the third part of this story. This is also continuously written by Teenie Howard, original writer of both Excalibur and Swords of X.
Yeah. And Bishop, War College.
This is part of the Sins of Sinister stuff. So it's Bishop fighting Bishop for the future.
That's weird. But then again, depends on the story. New Mutants, Lethal Legion.
Yep, this is also part of Sins of Sinister. That's just a callback cover to the first time Deadpool ever appeared. But yeah, this is the new status quo for New Mutants under the Sins of Sinister arc. I'll give it a shot. This is one of the low points right now again for New Mutants.
Okay.
We'll see how this is going. Like, for a lot of people, the jumping off point was at the end of the Limbo arc where Ileana gives Maddie Limbo.
Yeah.
That one is a good jumping off point for New Mutants. I am okay with this current storyline that they're going with, but I'm not as invested as I was before. Like, I'll keep the book because I want to support the book because New Mutants is my favorite of the X titles. But even I can tell you its thing. There's more ecstatics. I don't know how much more I can tell you other than that.
Why?
I mean, it's got the original creative team behind it, so Peter Milligan and Mike Allred.
Yeah, we just gonna just shuffle right along.
X-Force. At some point, someone's got to sit down, Beast, and go, Hank, what the hell happened to you? Oh, no, wait, that's X Factor. At some point, someone's going to go to Colossus like, your brother's controlling you.
Yeah, eventually. Wolverine #32.
It's Wolverine.
Yeah, that's fair. X-23, Daily Regenesis.
Another book under Sins of Sinister that got rebranded. I will definitely be reading this because it's Laura. I love Laura. There's also a good chance Gabby's going to be in here. So, any more times I get more sister time, I'm down.
Okay. X-Men 21.
Constantly good and consistent. This is going to be the conclusion of the Brood War, of the newest version of the Brood War. See what's happened there. I guarantee you Scott's going to use his authority on the council, what little he has left, to get his dad resurrected after the dad exploded from a brood egg.
More than likely. Captain Marvel 48.
Kelly Thompson's still writing it. Also connected to the Brood.
Yep. X-Men. This
And
night.
1953 and 90s facsimile cover.
Okay. That ain't bad. X-Men 1991.
Facsimile cover.
Miracle Man. Marvel
Don't know who
Tales.
that is. Apparently, he's a man who does miracles.
Captain America Sentinel Liberty, which it looks like it's a reprint for that. Excuse me.
No, it's number 11.
Oh, that's what I'm going to say. This is the prelude to
This
Cold
is the
War.
start of Cold War.
That's still cool.
I'm automatically on the villain side. He's got a cat.
Oh, Captain America Cold War Alpha 1. This is the one I'm definitely going to be reading. Oh, that looks beautiful. That looks awesome. And it's going to be kind of weird because I would think Sam and Cap would kind of have a disagreement. But again, this is Colin Kelly, Jackson Lansing, and Tochi Onibuchi on writing. Carlos Magno for the artwork. I am definitely getting that. Symbol of Truth number 12. Definitely getting this one as well. Oh yeah, I'm definitely getting that. Although it's kind of weird. This is actually going to be following Sam's story since he's now the Symbol of Truth, while Captain is the Symbol of Liberty. Captain America Unforgiven.
That's right about Tim Seeley.
Yeah, never read this. Never actually read this. So
this is in the new Unforgiven stuff. This is like Dark Tales. I think they have like a Spider-Man Unforgiven or something. It is maybe like a new line, maybe? I don't know. It is part of the Unforgiven saga, so
I would read that. Silver Surfer, if I could pronounce that. Ghostlight.
Yeah, it's Silver Surfer.
Yeah, that's pretty much of it. Clobbering Time.
Ah, yes. There's a team-up book between Hulk and Wolverine, Hulk and Thing, and sometimes it's Thing, sometimes it's Hulk.
That's just...
And it goes for Krakoa. This will be fun.
Fantastic Four number 6. So these are the original artworks for these. Interesting. Wasp number 4.
I mean, it's written by Al Ewing, so I'll give it a shot.
Okay. Bloodline
Daughter of Blade, who was supposed to debut several years ago.
And yeah. Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't write it off entirely. I'm sure it'll be good. I'm sure this is something. I mean, you know, they'll put her in something.
Maybe.
Scarlet Witch number 4. You know, I don't know. I don't know what's going to go on there. I thought this was only going to be a 3-part series, but I guess not.
I don't. I would probably just read it just to see where it goes. Deadpool number 6. Well, I'd read it, but of course, it's Deadpool. God. Just because it's Deadpool, why are we not surprised? Still will read it. The Invincible Iron Man. Again, I have got to catch up where I used to be because...
Well, I'm at least curious what Emma's doing with the bloody helmet, so...
Yeah, looks like it says in his rope for support, he turns to Emma Frost. So apparently he needs help with his new foe. And of course, She-Hulk number 12.
Still reading, still fantastic. I believe it's also issue 175, so that's a big landmark number.
Yeah.
Or it's getting close. Yeah.
No, you're right. Issue 175. And of course, Hulk number 14.
Honestly, I'm kind of getting tired of Spaceship Hulk.
Monica Rambeau, Photon. I have to
recommend you read this. It's been good.
I have to add that to my list of. I have to add that to my list of reading because I have not read any of it. I have read this, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur.
It's fun.
I cannot wait for Disney Plus to finally release it. I mean, if it's as good as the comic, I'm not gonna have any issue with it. Thor number 33.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know about Thor. Punisher number 11. Oh, when he's the demon? Because they have to team up to take him down because he's the demon of the hand. And apparently he has demonic powers.
See, but Jason Aaron is doing a bang up job on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
See,
man just can't write a team book.
Yeah. But no, I would read that just because it's still continuing that fight. Joe Fixit. I would read that. Joe Fixit has been entertaining. I would read that. Moon Knight number 22. I need to go back to that because that's been a great run. Ghost Rider. I need to get back to
this
that.
has been really good. So this starts the new arc. They just into the first arc. A government team has gotten a hold of the demons that they've been killing and has infused them into Danny Ketch. So Danny is the government's new Weapon X, except it's Weapon like G or whatever they want to call him, which is why he looks like that. So it's Danny versus Johnny.
Interesting. Yeah, I need to catch back up on that. Daredevil number 10. This is basically the fight. This is the fight between the hand and the fist. And he still has John Walker's shield. He still has it. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to that next issue just because I want to see how it all winds up with him fighting Frank. Predator.
Sure.
And Star Wars, Darth Vader, Black, White, and Red. I don't know. The first series was good. Do we really want do we really
no, there's your reason why.
What's that?
So this is only going to be colored in black, white, and red. And the artwork is Peach Momoko.
I may give it a shot. Star Wars, The High Republic. I don't know.
That's nice. I only read 2 Star Wars titles.
Star Wars Hidden Empire. That doesn't.
It's Charles Soule, and he does a good Daredevil, so I can see him writing a good like Imperial story. And it looks like this may be fun times with how did we put it last time they made it look like this? The super best friend times of Shiv and Anakin.
Yeah.
Where they were pretty much just crap talking each other throughout the entire story.
Nice. Star Wars Yoda. Does Yoda really fight anybody he can't beat? I'm just saying.
It's Yoda.
Yoda's basically the walking force. Star Wars, I've never heard this title before. Sana Staros.
Oh, she's a character that's been out of what's it called? Dr. Aphra.
I'll take your word for it because I'm looking at this. I'm like, okay. Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, Ewoks.
Don't need elaboration on Ewoks. Keep going. Just like their animated series, we just keep going.
Star Wars Bounty Hunters. Star Wars Bounty Hunters number 33. If it's not Mandalorian, it really doesn't catch my attention.
Yeah, I really don't care.
Star Wars Dr. Alpha.
This has been hilarious, and I love it so much.
I'm sorry, not Dr. Alpha.
Aphra. Dr. Aphra.
Aphra, okay. I said Alpha.
And sometimes I love it the way they write her because when she was initially introduced, the running gag is she's Vader's like other daughter. He just doesn't talk about and keeps like behind. She is not Vader's actual daughter, but the way their relationship works is like, I'm gonna go do this. Yeah, sure. Just it doesn't get back to me. Okay, Dad.
Dang. Star Wars 33. And I'm good.
Sure.
Star Wars Darth Vader number 33.
Sith Amidala, sure.
Miles Morales, Spider-Man by Saladin Ahmed.
This is the omnibus.
Gotcha.
So now we're in the collecteds.
Okay. And let's see. Looks like this is another omnibook of Spider-Man Miles Morales. Wonder Man, the early years. Okay. I think it's like another Wonder Man. Phoenix omnibus. And looks like it's a different cover. Sigil omnibus.
I have no idea what that is.
I've never heard of Sigil. Okay. Avengers Omnibus Volume 1. Okay.
No, it's got John Romita Jr. We keep going.
Damn. Kirby cover for Avengers Omnibus.
There we go.
And the Alex Rocks cover for Volume 2. Pretty good. And then looks like the John Buscema cover for Volume 2. Invincible Iron Man Omnibus Volume 1. So what?
Said Invincible Iron Man. That's not bad. This is classic stuff because one of the writers is Stan Lee.
Tales of Suspense. Then this looks like the Grano cover for Volume 1. And then the Kirby cover. And then we got a Masterworks. Incredible Hulk Volume 17. And looks like a variant cover for Volume 17. Fantastic Four Volume 25. Different a variant edition for 25.
Right below it, What If?
Ooh. Into the Multiverse Omnibus Volume 1. You're right. That's definitely gonna be nice. And then they got the Ramos cover for it. And Daredevil, Guardian Devil Gallery Edition.
Oh, the Kevin Smith run of Daredevil.
I'd get that. Spider-Man Volume 1, End of Spider-Verse.
Pass.
I'm sorry.
Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Honestly, this has not been that bad. It's really interesting to see this has not been a bad Spider-Man book. It's really weird that this is written by one of the guys from Black Eyed Peas, but you know.
Hey, they could be talented. You never know. Amazing Spider. Yeah. Oh, this is Zeb Wells. We're good.
Yeah, this is Dark Web. That's why we're good.
Yeah, but between Spidey and Ben, between Peter and Ben still wants to save him. Star Wars, The Path. Yeah, I'm good. Han Solo and Chewbacca Volume 2, The Crystal Run. If it's not the Kessel Run, why do we need to read it? Punisher War Journal to be okay. Well, they're gonna follow. Well, they're gonna follow. I guess.
No, I think this is a reprint of the old War Journal books.
Murder World.
Murder World. Sure.
Carnage 2. Well, Carnage Volume 2, Carnage in Hell. Okay.
I mean, Godzilla did it first, but you know.
X-Force by Benjamin Percy, Volume 6. Trials of X, Volume 10. I can live with that. Captain Marvel. Oh, boy.
Revenge of the Brood.
I'm good.
You know, I'm wondering why they even have the Brood right now, since Marvel literally has xenomorphs.
You know, that's a wonderful question.
And the other question I have is, why are we not seeing xenomorphs versus the Brood?
That's also a good question. Who would? I mean, my mind would be on the xenomorphs if they're going.
Or even better, why are we not seeing Punisher versus the Brood? Or not Punisher, Predator versus the Brood.
It'll be a quick fight. Predator would win that easily. Predator with its tactics would win that easily. Wouldn't be much of a story, I guess. Immortal X-Men by Kieran Gillen. Okay.
I mean, I'll get it.
The Hood, the Saga of Parker Robbins. I haven't read that one in a while. She-Hulk by Rainbow Rowell, Volume 2.
Yeah, I'll get that.
Ultraman, The Mystery of Ultra 7.
Yeah, I'll get it. Scott Higgins.
X-Men Legends, Past Meets Future. Okay. It's been a while since I read anything really at the X-Men outside of that. And of course, X-Men 92, the saga continues.
That was a fun little read.
Let's see. X-Force Epic Collection, Armageddon Now. That's going to be interesting.
There we go.
Generation X Epic Collection, The Secret of M. Okay, I get that.
Ooh, it's Volume 3.
Yep. Oh, dang. Wait a minute. Did I pass one? Oh, no. Right here. Iron Man Epic Collection, The Crossing. I get that. I remember that. Sergeant Fury and the Howling Commandos. I would get this just for prosperity. Berlin Breakout. I would get that. Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead, Joe.
No,
Go
actually,
ahead.
I would actually really consider that because this is just all a Maximum Carnage and they're printing, and
Okay.
Epic Collections are pretty reasonably priced books,
Yeah, true.
and
I just,
since
I
it's
just,
just flat out Maximum Carnage, this is a new
yeah.
way to get Maximum Carnage, and I like Spider-Man at that point.
I just looked at. I had to look at the artist. That's the reason I had to look because it was a specific artist I was looking for. So I was like, "Go ahead, Joe." She-Hulk, Epic Collection, the Cosmic Squish Principle. I get that. Just
I
because
would.
I would get that. Spider-Woman, I would get that one just because it was written by Dennis Hopeless. I'd get that. X-Men Dark Phoenix Saga would get that anyway, just because the what's his name? John Brand. There we go. He's actually a pretty decent writer, so I would definitely get that. Peter Parker and Miles Morales, Spider-Man Double Trouble.
Oh, this is the kid's book.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would get that for the boy. Might as well introduce him. Marvelverse, Monica Rambeau, Photon. I get that.
Oh yeah.
I would get that just so I could read to the kid. Mighty Marvel Masterworks, Captain America Volume 2, The Red Skull Lives. Would get that. And then let's see. It looks like last but not least, Mighty Marvel Masterworks, Captain America Volume 2, The Red Skull Lives. This is the original cover. I get that, but I would love to have
some good stuff coming out.
I would love to have the original comic. I would love to have the original comic actually, but that's neither here nor there. But no, all of it. I mean, there's some hits and misses out of that, but I mean, it's not bad. I mean, it's not bad. Aside from the Spider-Man ones. I'm sorry, Joe. That was funny.
No, you're fine. Sorry. I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, I've already told them point blank at Rick's. Once Dark Web ends, unsubscribe me from Spider-Man. I do not care.
Fair enough. But we did have. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
To their credit, they just looked at me as like, no, that makes sense.
Well, speaking of that, I think we might have covered. Let me see, because I don't think we covered this in the solicits, but I want to bring this up anyway. Just because we're seeing Jed McKay had tweeted this, saying that he is going to be on the next Avengers cover, as you can see right here. Has Panther, has Vision, Scarlet Witch, Sam Wilson's Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, and Captain Marvel. So it looks great that he's going to be helming the next Avengers lineup. Joey, thoughts on that?
Oh no, I'm going to check this out. It's got Sam as Captain America. I want to see how Wanda acts with Vision on the team. The rest of the team I can kind of take or leave because I don't really have a big affection for like any of them in particular. Like the most notable ones are the top row more than the bottom.
Okay.
But Jed McKay has done solid work over the multiple books we reviewed in the past, so I will definitely be more than happy to read that.
Okay. And I think I want to wait for the next story just because it's going to kind of spoil what we have in the comic pool. So I'm going to leave the Doctor Strange one until after we get past Strange. So I'm going to leave that one there. And also the other ones, and also the other comic book title we have is going to spoil it before we get to there anyway. So we do have a couple more trailers before we get to our comic book pools. Usually DC has some great animated movies. I'm going to be honest, this Batman one, I may skip it, but hey.
This is an Elseworlds tale, so you can skip or leave it. This is not part of the new animated universe continuity. Keep in mind, the new animated universe continuity Batman is Jensen Ackles.
Yeah.
So if he's not doing the voice work, it's not in continuity.
Right. But again, it is an Elseworlds story. I just wish it stayed in comics. But hey, I'll let you guys be the judge. This is Batman, the Doom that came to Gotham.
Doom. The great doom is coming. The sins of the Father are heaped upon the Son.
You have no clue the power this book possesses.
I know those who seek it mean to do this city harm. Before it can be truly saved, Gotham must be burned to the ground.
Talking dead folks, reptile plagues, it's not natural.
It's a cult that has long ties to Gotham.
Spirit, come to us now.
I can't pretend to know exactly what I'm about to face, but I do know that I must stop it.
We mean to give this city purpose and honor the damnation which bore it.
Mercy.
What did this?
Master Bruce, what's happening to you? What needs to happen? Bruce Wayne must die. And through death, become this city's savior. Hello, Bruce. It can't be.
Now I'm gonna be honest, that was, of course, Batman: The Doom That Came to Gotham. Of course, will be coming immediately to 4K and Blu-ray. How can I? There may be somebody that enjoys that. There may be someone. I don't know who, just because it's one of those stories, and I say this all the time. Not everything. I mean, don't get me wrong with DC. DC is usually on a roll with a lot of things. This one, not so much. Really. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, like I said, great Elseworld story. It really was. Do I see it as an animated movie? I didn't think it would be, but to me, it's a miss. What do you think, Joe?
It's a Batman movie, so more than likely, I'm not getting it.
I just can't find myself bringing to watch it. But in the comments, you guys let us know what you think of it. But I just know for me as a Batman fan, it's kind of a miss. But the last trailer we do got, guys, before we move on to our comic book pools, because like I said, 2 of our stories are actually tied to comic book pools, so we have to go through those first before we can get to that. This next one is another DC movie that's coming out called Legion of Superheroes. Check it out.
Legion Academy. If you wanted, you could train here. Think of them as the future's Justice League.
It is so great to meet you. I'm Mon-El. This is the rest of the Academy trainees.
We are the front lines, administering justice and preventing war.
Your cousin is a problem. She's failed to control her powers.
Brainiac? I am not going to let you hurt anyone else.
With her abilities, that makes her a threat.
I don't like what you're implying.
We still have no idea where the rest of the Legion is. I've seen the Dark Circle. Come on, we don't have very much time. It's up to us. So let's go be heroes.
Now, for this one, and the first time I saw it, I was like, okay, it kind of seemed like this was another Rush story, but this is my second time watching it, and honestly, I would give it a shot. Joe, what do you think?
Oh no, definitely I'm giving this a shot. I don't think the Legion of Superheroes gets enough credit, but unfortunately, they live and die by their writer. I mean, every book does, but they, more than most books, kind of come and go into the mainstream as often. The last time it was really popular was when they had their CW show.
Okay.
That lasted 2 seasons. Very well done. Then the most recent time in the comic books was unfortunately done by Brian Michael Bendis, where he kind of shunted everybody off into wherever verse, and it was up to Naomi and the newly created by himself Gold Lantern to solve everything. It was an event. No one knew what was going on. No one knew that the event was going, and it was written by Brian Michael Bendis. So the majority of the DC community just wrote it off.
Okay. I mean, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, this is a fairly common thing that happens too for Legion of Superheroes. If you remember, this is how Supergirl ended in Justice League Unlimited, where she stayed behind with Legion of Superheroes in Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah. But yeah, it is definitely worth it. Also, before we get to our comic book pulls, Last of Us, really quickly, first episode impressions. I thought it was very well done for a video game adaptation. Usually video game adaptations do not do well. We have seen history of that. But HBO Max may actually have this right. For the first episode, they actually give a little bit more backstory to the beginning, which again, I don't mind. I think it was very well done. And the attention to detail. And I know some people are gonna be like, well, he didn't really get him with this, he got him with that. Okay, minuscule. But if you really do pay attention to how they actually started Last of Us and you compare it to the game, it's almost spot on. And
from what I understand, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
From what I understand, this is almost line for line on some of it. I know the primary actress that did for the leader of the Fireflies. That she is, I believe, the only person to do voice work and mocap and then be cast as the same character in the show.
Yeah,
I think she's literally the only actor to have ever done that.
Yeah, and I thought that was pretty cool to have the voice actor from the game actually reprise a role. But what are you saying?
Like I said, it seems good. I wonder if they're going to put a little bit more focus on the government this time around. Because the government did not play a very large part of the game outside of the first hour of the game.
True.
And once you sneak out of the city, you don't ever worry about the government again.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they're going to have a larger force this time around.
See, that's the thing I wonder, because because the way they're doing the episodes, which again, it'll be this Sunday when it comes out again, they're not too far off from being close to Bill. Now, again, that's not a spoiler. If you play Last of Us, you know exactly what I'm talking about, that they are going to run into Bill eventually. I'm just, it does make you wonder, will we see more of the government? Will there be more of the environment? Like I said, the one thing that we always worry about with video game adaptations is that they try to do too much, they try to stray away from the source material, or just flat out Hollywoodize it, which means that they think it needs this extra, when really the story of Last of Us is, well, part one, I guess you want to call it that. Well, they did call it part one eventually, but still. With that being said, I mean, the first episode was great. Couldn't argue with that. Hope to, look at the next one come Sunday and go from there. But just want to get that in there just because, again, I know we did cover a lot today.
I bet I know how the season ends.
Yeah. So that's the thing about it. We say what, Joe?
Said I bet I know how the season ends. No, seriously, I bet I know exactly when the season ends.
Oh, you think they're gonna? What's your guess?
Where Joel gets the iron rod through the side of his stomach.
Ooh, so right around the end of spring?
Yep. That'll be where the end of season 1 ends. Right as winter sets in?
That wouldn't be a bad idea. At that point, Ellie, that would be
season 2, you can have Ellie go forward, and like 3 or 4 episodes into season 2, you have Joel come back into the story.
I'm not against that. I'm not against that at all. I actually like that idea.
Banned somewhere because I got it right.
You know what? We have you on prosperity now. So if we come back and we get exactly that, then you can sit there and say you can call yourself Nostradamus at that rate.
What was the other thing I saw? Oh, quick news bit before we go to comics. We have seen the Flash toys. We now know who the main Flash villain is. It is hilariously bad. It is the Dark Flash, which is a take on Black Flash.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know who the Black Flash is. He's the personament of death. He is one of the 2 personaments of death for speedsters.
Yeah.
You either have the Black Racer, which is what New God,
Mm-hmm.
who is the personament of death for the New Gods and Speed.
Yep.
But the Grim Reaper of Speedsters of the powered by Speed Force, it is the Black Flash. The toy is shown. He looks hilariously similar to an orc from Lord of the Rings. That toy does not do him any justice.
I'm sorry. Oh, it's so horribly bad.
Have you seen the toy?
Yes.
It looks just like an orc out of Lord of the Rings.
That's why I'm laughing.
Oh, I thought you were laughing at the Batman 89 suit with the ears clipped off young Barry Allen.
No, you described it perfectly. I'm trying not to laugh, but it's funny. Oh man, you are not kidding. It is beyond horrible. It is just damn.
Now, with Flash does have movie news. It actually got bumped up supposedly a week from the 23rd to 16th because WB knows it's not going to make any money going up against the new Pixar movie, and then the following week, huh?
Yeah, isn't that the same week as Pixar's Elemental?
Elemental, and then the following week is the new Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah,
So,
it's not gonna be that battle.
It's not going to do any money because that's the week that's Spider-Verse is still in theaters.
Yeah, it's not gonna win that battle. It's not gonna do anything. It's gonna be DOA actually, because Spider-Verse comes around.
Again, you guys also don't forget. I myself, one of the very few times I'm using this word. I don't use this word lightly. I am going to be boycotting that movie. I will not go see it. I honestly don't think we should even be doing a review on it. I will not support a child groom in any way, shape, or form. I am sorry to the other actors that are in that movie. I know Michael Keaton will probably turn into a wonderful performance as Batman. I refuse to take a part of any sort of profiting for someone who has been a proven child groomer.
And yet, that still bugs me that he's about to get off. That dude's a reverse Flash in real life. He's about to get off scot-free. He really is. But no, I can respect that decision. I still may want to see it. But because again, Joe is my co-pilot on the show. If he doesn't want to do a review, then no review will be done here. Definitely, that'll be the end of that. End of that on that case. But yeah,
tell me if we want to do a review, you want to do it, and you want to tell me how bad it is, or however good some of it is. I'm all there for it. I just refuse to interact.
I'm gonna be honest with you on that. I think the only thing that's gonna say if there's any saving grace, we've already talked about it. If there's any saving grace, it's gonna be Keaton. That's it. Nothing about because you gotta think the fact that he has not done any press, no interviews, everything has been controlled.
Press till March.
But I mean that goes back to what we talked about. Remember we talked about the options, how Warner Bros. Discovery can handle this. They're taking option 2. They will have him a part of the movie, but he will do no press, no interviews, no nothing. They will keep him out of the public eye as much as humanly possible. They're taking option 2 because they won't do 1, and they certainly won't do 3. So 2 is the path of least resistance. That's not surprising about that. But no, I still want to see. I've said that I still want to see Michael Keaton don the cowl. Just if it's not going to be one last time, I would hope it's not. But we were supposed to get a Batman Beyond movie, but we never got that. So thanks, Ezra Miller, so much. But we're gonna put on some happy news because you know why we're not gonna let that damper us on a Friday. That being said, guys, we're going to go ahead and pull on to our comic pools. I see Joe's ready to go, so let me go ahead and pass the mic.
Yep. First off, we got the finale of Strange. This is written by Jed McKay. Art by Marcelo Ferreira and inker by Robert Doji. This is a super fun issue. We get to see husband and wife team up against a. This is my favorite thing about the Spectre. God, poor Bob. Bob cannot catch a break. So the Agent Zero, whatever his name is, gets the corpse of the Spectre and fills it not with not with just 1,000,000 ghosts that he says, but he fills the Revenant of the Spectre with 1,000,000 crazed ghosts.
As if
It's
it
like,
didn't need
I
anything
just
else.
feel bad for Bob.
He just never
I just
gets.
feel bad for Bob.
That man just does not catch a break at all.
No,
I
he
mean,
does not. I feel so bad for that man. So Clea and Steven do the forbidden thing. They kiss, meaning they touch. So death and life magic fuse together and make. Well, they just kind of do the fusion dance in the grand scheme of things.
Is it not to cut you off? But is it kind of weird that the first time you see the combination, it reminds you of what if the Watcher was Sorcerer Supreme?
Yeah, pretty much. Actually, it kind of reminds me of Eternity.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I saw it. Yeah, I can see that too.
Yeah, so they fuse into a big old being and easily defeat the Spectre and get rid of the new guy. And then they unfuse, and the defeating of the Spectre, Death goes, yeah, I really one of those 100,000,000 ghosts. So, Steven, you and I are good. You get your life back. Congrats. Everything's fine.
Which kind of leads into the next one that the next arc of the Strange will basically be, and it was put so well done by Polygon. They said Doctor Strange's next epic role was magical wife guy.
Yeah, because Clea, I believe, is still Sorcerer Supreme technically, because I think Steven has to earn that back from her, or it has to be awarded to him by the Vishanti. So Steven is not Sorcerer Supreme. Steven's just like, well, I'm the husband of the Sorcerer Supreme. But also, Jed McKay has done a fantastic job with this book. I love it to death. I can't wait for Bats to see his dad come back. Wong's going to be elated. The new book looks fun.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for it. I dug this book. It was a ton of fun. You got to see a lot of 90s characters come back as zombies to get beaten. So I dug it.
Oh yeah, it was very well done. I just like
It was the only way anyone was ever going to appreciate Thunderstrike. Well, that's not my fault. It was Thunderstrike. Next up, we got Immortal X-Men, number 10. This is written by Kieran Gillen, art by Lucas Rennick, and colors by David Crowell. This is the immediate fallout from there, where Sinister does, in fact, get to assassinate the majority of the Quiet Council by setting off a psi bomb, killing the majority of the psychics, and then killing Hope and Exodus. So this is the repercussions of that. Hope is resurrected a little jankily. She's all there. She's good. Nothing's missing, but it's a little janky because it's not a true psychic they got to help resurrect her. But after all that, everyone is hunting Sinister down as much as possible. And this is the lead into Sins of Sinister.
Yeah.
Because we get a big reveal at the end of the book of suddenly someone's also become a Sinister clone, but we don't know how or why.
But that was very well done. All I can say at that point, I said, Sinister, well played. Just well freaking played.
I won't go too much more into it other than that. Like I said, this is going into the new book, so I don't want to spoil too much of it. Next up, my favorite for Dark Web X-Men 3. This is written by Jerry Duggan, art by Rod Reese and Phil Noto, meaning Joe is automatically going to buy this book no matter what. This is the big showdown between Maddie and Jean, and Maddie throws everything she has at Jean, and Jean fights back until Jean just says, okay, I surrender. And then this confuses Maddie, and Jean just like points out the bronze like, you just want the memories of your child. That's
Mhm.
not something that's out of the question. It has never been out of the question. You just should have come to me and have asked directly.
But in
I would have
reality, I
given
mean,
you.
but Jean could have destroyed her. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, no.
Jean could.
Because you're forgetting, this is not just Jean Grey. This is Jean Grey with the all new, all different X-Men from when she was a teenager
Yeah.
with the power boost and everything she's gone through in Jean's standard life. So this is
That's
like
yeah.
top dog alpha Jean.
That was what it's like.
So Jean does make it very clear to Madeline, hey, I'll give you the memories, just understand you're not going to get like the experience. But Maddie's all down for it because I just wanted time with my child.
Yeah.
And you got time with my child, so I want to have those memories. I know they aren't mine, but I wanted to be able to remember my time with my child.
Right.
Or a time with my child, which is very important. And again, Madeline is a much more sympathetic villain in this than Ben is.
Yeah.
Ben is also sympathetic because like his mind's unraveling. Maddie wants something that no mother should ever have taken away from her.
That is true. It's just that, I mean, that was the one thing that's where she felt you could tell that there was a kind of a kindred there. Like, I was robbed at the time, so were you. So she did kind of feel bad at that point.
Yes.
But still, it was that whole idea just, I could have just.
Yeah.
It's like you could have just ended it. But no,
the other part of this book, and I love this, is that I love that Cyclops comes running into the giant throne room with all the puppies on the leashes. That was fantastic. The other good thing is this also gives us closure for Alex.
Yeah.
Alex says, I'm going to stay behind. I'm going to help Maddie. Maddie still is a little bit taken aback by this, but is also mildly endeared that Alex is like really does want to be with her.
Mm-hmm.
And then Alex says, like, well, I'm going to be an X-Men, but I'm going to do it on my time. I'm going to do it my way. I want to be here with her. And everyone's chill with it. I mean, I thought this was just a wonderful book.
Oh, yeah, it was nice.
This
It
was
was
a great
nice.
way to end this. Peter and Ben are not going to end as easily as the other way, but,
Oh, no.
Ben and Peter have a whole different beef, and Peter's, for once, has absolutely nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Maddie, like I said before, had something taken away from her no mother ever should. So,
true. But Ben is basically not going to be done until he consumes Peter, literally.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So wonderful book, artwork I love to death. But again, it's Rod Reese and Phil Noto. Everyone should know by now. I'm a Phil Noto fan. I always will be. I like how this ended. I don't know where this is going to go forward with Maddie in the grand scheme of Dark Web, because we still got a little bit left.
Yeah.
But in the grand scheme of things, her role in this is done. She actually got what she wanted. She succeeded.
Yeah. Which kind of was kind of weird for her to go back and undo her mess, but no, makes sense.
Moving over to DC, we have Nightwing 100. This is written by Tom Taylor with art by Bruno Redondo. This is just a wonderful, wonderful tribute to Nightwing. The grand scheme of this is Heart Taker, or is it Heartless?
Heartless.
Heartless instigates a prison break, and criminals far and wide range, just like Bloodhaven, and Dick calls on the Titans and even talks down a whole gang of criminals like, hey.
That part was cool.
Yeah, he's like, do you really want to do this? Like, do you really want to be hurting children?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them was like, we're in here for like really simple offenses and we are not down with this.
Right.
Yeah. So now he's like, all right, cool. Help me. That way we can at least protect kids.
Yeah. But you gotta love the fact that just, when Titans showed up, Beast Boy's like, what do you got? Literally, there's an elephant man. No, really. And Guy, as an elephant, is running amok. Beast Boy, cool. It immediately turns into an elephant just to size up with the That part was funny to me.
And he also gets a wonderful moment with Bruce.
Oh yeah.
Because Superman comes and takes him to the Hall of Justice. Like, hey, we got to talk.
Mm-hmm.
So the conversation is that the League is now defunct. They are unsure about restarting the League, but they do very straightforwardly say it's like, whatever comes next, we want you in charge.
Yeah.
The Dick. It's like, the crisis this time has shown that you are the one that needs to be leading the community of superheroes going forward. You are the next leader that needs to be out there.
Yeah.
So Dick, using his money, immense wealth from the inheritance from Alfred, buys the prison. And we'll go into this because this leads into into one of the news items we were talking about earlier.
Yep. Yeah.
Turns the prison into a new Titans Tower, and the Titans are reestablished. Not the Teen Titans, the original
Titans, yeah.
new Teen Titans are reformed under the name Titans, and they will be the new premier superhero team in the DC universe going forward.
That's actually, yeah. And that's the part where we're going to talk about where I guess that's going to take over as far as being in Bloodhaven and really going from there, which is different. I guess it's a changing the guard because I couldn't think in recent memory. This wasn't the first time the Titans replaced the League, did they? Or is this their first attempt?
Well, I mean, we've had future storylines where future incarnations of the Titans have become Justice Leaguers, but
yeah.
Let's just say Justice League, after Brian Michael Bendis had such diminishing returns that they are retiring the book for an undisclosed amount of time. And now Titans are going to get a relaunch at some point down in the future, and they will be the premier. They will be the team up book.
Gotcha.
They'll be the team book.
Okay.
Which I'm down for.
Yeah, I mean, the entire issue was really good, but it had some good points in it. But man, that moment at the grave, I was like, the first time you ever heard him call him dad.
Yep. My only complaint in this entire thing, no Kyle Rayner anywhere.
Which is kind of weird. You would think that only Superman and Wonder Woman showed up. But you got a couple of Green Lanterns, but not the one you were looking for.
You have Hal, you have John, and way in the background, you think it's Kyle. No, that's Jessica.
Kyle will never get the respect.
And I don't know why. I also like that Barry's having to fly using his tornado hands. And we have a spotting of Firestar right there.
Yeah.
See, people look like Firestar. So, guys, if you want to know where your stories for Cyborg are coming from, it'll be from this book.
we just need new stories.
We are not petty against Cyborg. It's just we know the character too well.
We just need new stories. Yeah. We just need new stories. That's all. That's really all there is to it.
Yeah, that's really all it is. Next up, we got Flash 1 Minute War Part 2. Not really a whole lot. The Fraction has landed. Earth around the world is devastated. Everyone is frozen in time that is not a speedster. This is written by Jeremy Adams, penciled by Roger Cruz, and inks by Wellington Diaz. So pretty much just everyone who's not a super speedster is frozen. What current speedsters there are active, and keep in mind you do have to be physically fast speedster.
Yeah.
We do note that while Jai is connected to the Speed Force, his powers work in hyper intensifying his muscle structure, meaning he uses his Speed Force for strength, not actual speed.
Right.
So he actually is caught by this time trap.
Oh, but sorry,
Kyrie is not.
Yeah. Because he basically caught him to the tree, which was odd. he shielded himself from the tree, but okay.
No, you shield everybody from the tree.
The tree. Oh, that's right. Right. Shield everybody from the tree. Sorry.
The weird thing is that we were still unsure if Linda has powers or it's the baby, because Linda's still out and about.
Well, baby connected to the mother.
Yep. Everybody else is just kind of trying to figure out what's going on. We have a reunion between Bart and Max, which I liked a whole lot. Wally finds Barry. Barry still believes Iris is dead.
Yeah.
I don't think he's aware of what's going on, so he still believes Iris is dead.
And he is messed up.
Oh, he is messed up beyond all reason. And then the Fraction unleashes their new supervillain, Miss Murder, like at the very end of the book.
Yeah.
I don't even know why this was like the cover art, because this made it seem like she was going to be the majority threat the whole issue, but she literally comes in the last page.
She showed up like an anime villain at the end.
Yeah. This is just the fallout of the impact of the Fraction coming. Next time we're going to be dealing with the real thing. Solid issue. Again, good setup. I think this is only lasting 2 more issues.
Yeah, I think it was what, 5-part series?
I think so.
Okay.
4 or 5 parts.
I mean, it's a 1-minute war, so it's a 1-minute war. We can't last too long.
Rounding it out, Stargirl and the Lost Children, 3 of 6. This is written by Jeff Johns with art by Todd Newek and colors by Matt Herms. This is just a giant Who's Who.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not making a DC pun for the book Who's Who, but this is introducing every principal character in the storyline now, where Stargirl meets up with every single misplaced teen superhero sidekick, while Red Arrow is dealing with their captor. And really the majority of this issue is just getting to know who's who and everything, because there's a lot of characters in this book.
Yeah.
Like a lot. What their personalities and everything. And this is a setup issue. This was not bad. This was by no means fantastic. I'm not going to go raving about it. It is what it is. It is a setup issue.
Yeah, because the next issue is pretty much going to be the jumping off one. So that's to be expected.
I also like that Jay Garrick's daughter explains why she's called the Boom. It's like, my dad's the Flash and the Lightning. I'm the Boom and the Thunder.
Yep.
It's like, neat.
But I did like that, though. But no, it does make me look forward to the next Stargirl issue, because, like you said, this is pretty much the whole setting up point to where there is going to be an escape. The child minder is going to. It doesn't seem that the child minder is the big bad, but it's almost like the subservient to the one. So
yeah,
we're eventually going to get that. We're eventually going to get that reveal, hopefully, within the next issue.
Yeah, like I said, there's a ton. One of the characters don't even make sense. It's like John Henry Irons is here.
That was random.
Yeah, and I'm like, but aren't you Steel? Is this a different John Henry Irons?
If they're trying to do an Earth variation, like the one they show with the hammer, but the noose around his neck, I was like, wait a minute.
That was the original John Henry.
That was the original John Henry. But I'm like, who are you supposed to be?
And then he goes like, well, I'm John Henry Irons. Like, you are not Steel. Now, if he's John Henry Irons Jr. or John Henry Jr.,
that would make sense.
That would make sense. But he introduces himself as John Henry Irons. It's like,
just ain't adding up.
No, we see you with your niece over here on the other side.
Yeah, it just ain't adding up. It just ain't. It's just not adding up. But still, makes me look forward to the next issue. But thank you, Joe, for the comic book pools. And as always, guys, we do want to give a shout out to Rick's Comic City, voted #1 place in Nashville for comic books. So if you are in the Middle Tennessee area, please check them out at any of their 3 locations: Nashville, Tennessee, Clarksville, Tennessee, and Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Definitely stop on in, and they have a plethora of things. Trust me, I spend enough money to know that they have a plethora of things there. But definitely go in. Say what?
Said I'll be there for a hot second tomorrow.
But But definitely check them out if you're in the Middle Tennessee area. Also, their website as well, because that's how I got my graded comics. So I'm definitely happy with that. Rick's Comic City. If you are not in the Middle Tennessee area, or if you have a comic book store local to you, support your local comic book stores, support your local libraries, because they still do carry the most up-to-date mangas, up-to-date comics, up-to-date multimedia for all your viewing pleasure. So again, these are the last areas that you can actually get comics and mangas and anime in your hand. I understand the digital form is cool, but there's just something about having something tangible. And trust me, if you're like me and you hunt comic books down, and you're looking for the holy grail ones, there's just nothing more than having it in your hands, because once they are gone, they are gone. So support your local comic book stores, support your local libraries, and again, keep your reading, keep watching, because stories like this is what keeps us going, that inspire other people to hopefully put out great content. My words are escaping me right now. Puts out great content for the world to enjoy. So, with that being said, guys, Joe, as we wrap this up, sir, let the people know what you're doing and what you possibly may be up to.
Still playing One Piece on my Twitch. Got some Battle Spirit stuff coming down the pipeline because all the white cards have been previewed.
Mm-hmm.
So Joe has gotten a plethora of giant robots. I have literally a giant city that turns into an elephant in that card game. Other than that, I'm going to be putting a list together for our next episode.
Oh, yes.
Whenever that is going to be. Have we decided that's going to be next week, or are we going to try and put together like a...
We got to put that. We have to put. I'm glad you mentioned that, because we have to put that together. We are going to have, for all those that don't know, next week, because this is episode 99, which means that our next one is going to be episode 100. So we may have to take some time getting that together, because you've heard me say this multiple times. You've heard Joe say this multiple times. We have used this term, disrespectful ass whooping, and we have mentioned one scene that would fit this, but me and Joe were thinking there's multiple scenes in cinema and in movies and in comics that could fit this genre, but we don't want it to be just us. We want it to be 6 other people. And what I hope to do within the next couple of weeks or so, because again, this is the 100th episode of Get Bit, that I want to do is I want to put together a panel of me, Joe, and 6 other people. So a panel of 8, if you will, just 2 more than the Illuminati. And we are going to submit our one submission for what we consider to be the most disrespectful ass whooping in these genres. So it's just getting everybody together, getting their submissions in, because it's going to be 8 submissions, top 8. We don't want to be here all night, because we really can be here all night discussing and arguing this. So at the end of it all, we want to have a top 8 for this year and kind of make it an annual thing. But we want to make this special because, number one, not many podcasts get to 100 episodes. Most people, when they start podcasts, they, may get encouraged, may get disencouraged. Some people do it for, like myself. You do it, like me and Joe, we do it for a hobby. We do it for a passion. We do it because we, love to talk to you, the people, and, really want to, talk and socialize with others. So we have fun with this, especially the fact that I'm finding more things about foreign things that Joe's into. Joe's finding out more things about what I'm into, and that's cool along with other people. So that's the reason why I love doing this. I know Joe loves doing this, because that man, he deals with people more than me on a daily basis, and then he comes in here and then he goes through comics. If you don't know, Joe's a healthcare professional, so he has to deal with people. Whew, he's a saint as far as
Yesterday, I learned everybody's profession I ever took. So many people were bartenders.
See, the man could go on for stories, but no, we do want to get this together. Just bear with us if we don't have an episode next week. Just because the 100th, we want to make it special. We want to try to get everybody on board. It's just a whole lot of planning, logistics, and hopefully getting everybody on the same day. So again, bear with us. It may take a while, hopefully not too long of a while, because like I said, my plan, my life is going to be changing in the next couple of months. So I would like to get this done before that happens. But again, bear with us. That's all I'm saying.
What
But
we're really just saying is we're going to keep putting episodes out, but it'll be 99.1, 99.2,
that you know what? We
99.3.
might go with that. We might go with that. 99.2. You know what? Let's go with that. Let's go with that until we can get our 100.
It's going to be a slow installation to 100%.
It's Windows 3.5. There we go.
Oh, no, I was going to say it's LimeWire, where it's like infinity days until your download is complete. By the way, you have 5 viruses.
Oh, yeah, we can go with that. But what else you got going on, Joe?
I'm going to be out and about all day tomorrow. Tomorrow is the prelude to Chinese New Year.
Mm-hmm.
You can find me over at Kirkland Park. I'm going to be helping out with Middle Tennessee API. We'll be doing, well, some of us, I won't say all of us, some of us will be there for a farmers market that's going to be Oriental related because of the day.
Yeah.
Centennial Park is also going to be having Chinese New Year Festival midday. Illumination over at the Grassmere Zoo. That is actually going to be a big Chinese New Year's festival over there, as well as an illumination. Face painting, Tai Chi classes, whole shebang. Hope to God the weather holds. I know we're supposed to get rain at some point. I just hope it's after I'm there and after I've left.
I'm surprised we actually have rain today, honestly. Okay.
Other than that, putting together this list, I got to figure out if I want during Planet Hulk the boxing match between Hulk and Wolverine, or if I just want that one time
hard,
Hulk
isn't it?
punted Monet over into Jersey.
It's hard. It's hard to narrow it down to just one, isn't it?
Oh no, my first one is very simple. It's when all the vendors try to take on Zemo and he boots them all over into Jersey. And goes like, no, Captain America, I've given a fate worse than death. They're over in Hoboken.
Damn. Okay, I'm gonna have to come up. I have to get that out there tonight to see if I can get everybody on the same page for that. But I'm sorry, Joe.
I found a new cosplay for Night Mage. I wonder if he's aware of it.
Say what?
So I found a new cosplay for Night Mage. I wonder if he's aware of that character.
Be cool if you can get him.
I mean, you can get him. You know Demetrius well enough.
I know Demetrius. You're trying to go for you're going for Night Mage. I'm like,
oh, what is Demetrius's cosplay name?
Hellspawn.
Thank you. I knew it's something similar thing.
Demetrius, yes, I can see where he is. If his schedule is really clear, I would see where he's at to see if I can get him. I know
Tommy needs to be the Blaze from Radiant Black. Because I just bought the 2 books that make up Cal.
I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna reach out to him and see where his schedule is. I know there's other people I have in mind. Did you have any people in mind? Well, you can tell me that later. But yeah, but for that, but thank you, Joe. You can find Joe, of course, on YouTube at Total Justice Gaming. You can also find Joe on his Twitch at Joe Italian last name. I am losing it. But definitely like and follow him as he does videos, especially of his decks and things of that nature. And his cosplay, definitely follow that because I can tell you off the bat, his Moon Knight, Mr. Knight is impressive and intimidating. And I have video. Just ask. Aside from that, guys, you can find me BlackBox447 on all socials. I usually do reviews of everything that I watch, that I play, that I read, and even gym stuff. Sometimes I do a couple push-ups. Also, let me shout out to my boy Vaughn at Big VZA Dot. You can find him on all socials at Big VZA Dot for beats or for TikToks or just for random questions. You usually do. Definitely check him out there. Of course, the link at the bottom and make that just a wee bit bigger for you guys to see. If you copy and paste this link into your browser, it'll take you to our link tree that has the YouTube and Facebook groups for all of our podcasts. How the Frack Got Here, Get Bitten, of course, the Ultimates podcast. Like, share, and subscribe, and let us know what you think of everything that we covered so far. Not just tonight, but on previous episodes. We still want to know as we're trying to put together our 100. In the meantime, we may have, as Joe said, we might be going to Windows 3.5 installation, so we might have 99.1, 99.1, 99.2, and things of that nature until we get to our 100. But just work with us. That's all I'm asking. Before I wrap this up, guys, again, I know me and Joe have talked a lot about fandoms. We are not knocking anything we don't like. We're just simply giving our opinions on them. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't discourage you guys from actually going out there and finding what you like. You like what you like, share it. Because again, me and Joe are not experts on everything. We try not to be. If anything that you see out there that you think we should know about or think that it would be cool, let us know. We want to share our fandoms as well as you guys. This is basically a safe space for all. And also, as Joe has pointed out, with everything that's going on tomorrow, it is, if you're going to be in high traffic areas, please take care of yourselves. We're still in a pandemic situation where RSV, Corona, and variants are still out there. People can still get sick, especially if you're traveling. If it says wear a mask, just wear a mask. And if you feel sick, please stay home. The only way we can actually get past this pandemic is that we have to start watching out for ourselves. When we protect ourselves, we protect each other. And honestly, that's how we get through this. So, with that being said, we will see you guys next Friday, same Get Bit time, same Get Bit channel, with news of the week and going from there with video games news as well. Joey, last words we call tonight, sir?
Yes, Melee players, you need to move on with your lives. It's time to change.
If Nintendo ever hears this episode never ceases to exist.
Look,
He's been Joe.
We need to move on from Diddy Kong Coconut Gun.
He's been Joe. I've been Will. This has been the Get Bit podcast that may or may not be around when Nintendo supports us. Take care of yourselves and each other. We'll get through this, guys. Have a good night. We'll talk to you later.
You can play Terry Bogard.
Peace.
You can play